Okay. Okay, here we go. And we are live right now. Hey, Red Helmets Clips. Hey, Arse Biscuits. Hey, Soviet Man. Mr. Hopkins, Hanawak. Hey, guys. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are all having a great day today. Happy Sunday. Wrong thumbnail? Oh, hang on a second. Let me fix that then. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Thank you for telling me. I lied what, Shiny Knight? Check the thumbnail. Thank you, Yeah, I made a mistake. I didn't choose the right thumbnail for today, but thank you. I corrected it. I fixed it. Thank you for telling me. Okay, Brandon. Let's help Brandon here first. Do the weekly challenge. I actually forgot about those. Let me see here. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry I wasn't able to start earlier. I did want to, and I wasn't even able to get the Mafia 3 part out today, but I just been feeling a bit ill. I'm fine right now. I'm not sick or anything, but basically what's been going on is that outside my apartment, it's really hot. It's been like, 80, close to 90 degrees every day. And what happens is when I turn on the air conditioner, there's something in the AC, and I just keep sneezing. Like, and today I turned on the air conditioner earlier, and I just kept sneezing like crazy, like just constantly sneezing. And so I think it's part of my allergies too, and I think there's something in the air conditioner. But the temperature finally dropped. It's like 60 degrees right now, and I was able to just relax a little bit more. But it's either you deal with the heat and you sweat, or you are sneezing constantly because of the air conditioner. Did you check the filter? Well, I don't even know how to change the filter on the unit in my apartment, because there is the AC unit, but it's way more complicated than the one in my rentals. In both of my rentals, I know how to change the filter in both of them, but this one has like a system that I've never seen before. I've made a complaint to the apartment management for them to change the filter, because they're the ones that are supposed to change it, but they don't work on the weekends, and so hopefully they get back to me and they come by on the this week and they change it, because it's getting ridiculous. Would it be dust? Possibly. I don't know. The reason the human body sneezes is because you have something, you inhaled something, or you have something inside your nose that the body's basically trying to get out. So it's your body telling you that you've inhaled something bad, or you have something bad in your body, and that's why you're trying to sneeze. But it's so that's primarily why. It's just something's bad in the air. Do I know what the Bushido code is? Yes. The Bushido code, that is the code of the samurai. Can I ask you something, Sir Jafar? What's your question, dude? Do I like brisk iced tea? Sure, I haven't had it in a long time, but yeah, that brand used to be really popular when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there was brisk everywhere, but now you don't see it as often. I think, they went down in popularity, but yeah, I did have brisk when I was, Pro, just play Battlefield 6 instead of Black Ops 7. I'll probably play both. When is Battlefield 6 coming out? It's coming out this week, right? Is it this week that it's coming out? Friday the 10th, okay. Do you guys want to see a playthrough of Battlefield 6? I might do a poll asking people if they want to see a playthrough of it. I'll have a cosplay for it. I'll dress up for it, so I'll just have to do a tactical, outfit, but... I got Cayo Perico heist ready. Yeah, and, Kirsten, if we're doing Cayo Perico, just me and you, because it's a lot more easy if you just do it as 2 people. Sure, Monster Drama, I can help you. Thank you, Mr. Professional, for the super chat. Do you know about the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt? Yes, it is in, it's an extremist group. I remember how when the Muslim Brotherhood actually came to power. That was in 2010. It was 2000 or 2011. It might have been. It was the they had the revolution in Egypt. It was with Hosni Mubarak was the dictator of Egypt, and he was deposed. The people got rid of him through protests. And then the Muslim Brotherhood ended up taking over, huge parts of Egypt. I don't know how much power they have right now, but yeah, I do know that they were they had a lot of power in Egypt. GTA having black screen issue, just a warning. Thank you, Christine Wyatt. Hi, Pro. Are you gonna play Black Ops 7? I probably will. And here's what I'll tell you guys. When I play Black Ops 7, right? I am not gonna play Black Ops 7 for the multiplayer. Like, I probably won't even touch the multiplayer, like, at all. 0. I am just gonna play Black Ops 7 for the story. And the reason I'm gonna play for the story is because it's the sequel to Black Ops 2. And I want to see how David Mason's story ends, because he's the main character, so I want to see how his story ends and, what happens. But that's the primary reason I'm buying it. I might touch the zombies, hang out and, play with some of my friends here and there. But I'm not gonna, really touch the multiplayer. So if you're asking, am I gonna play Black Ops 7? Yes, the single player, but not the multiplayer. Thank you, Jonathan. Hey, Pro, are we gonna get the prison break done today? Yeah, I can help you with that. I can, but we're gonna do it later. I do the heist later, like within an hour. Not right now. Your channel is awesome. Will you check out the Bruce Lee Elusive Target on Hitman? It's available until mid-November. Yeah, I have plenty of time. I can't touch it right now because I have a lot of projects I'm doing. I'm working on the Henry lore video, which I'm going to get to you guys by next weekend. I'm going to have the next Mafia lore video. So if you're waiting for another Mafia lore video next weekend, it's going to be out. So I'm probably not going to have time to touch the Hitman one because I'm doing, Mafia 3 and Ghost of Yotei right now. But I will, yeah. I will, do it eventually. Gillian Ender came up with a solution to the man-trap glitch. They say the heist must be on fidelity mode graphics option. Fidelity mode. Fidelity mode, that's when you, okay, yeah. Fidelity mode, that's when you play on the highest, like, because I'm trying to remember what it was. There's performance and fidelity. So it might be an FPS option. Yeah, it might be. Okay, Skull. Well, I'll talk to you after the stream today, Skull. Enough energy for Battlefront 2 later? Probably not tonight, Dreadnought. Thank you for being a member of my channel, 9 and Fernando. Thank you. Thank you for 32 months from 9 and 69 months from Fernando. I have a casino heist too. Okay, Brandon. No, I never heard of it, Adrian. Yeah, I cannot stand the sneezing. It's bothering me too, Ashley. I think that sentence is way too little. I think he should have gotten way more. Yeah, I'll probably give Battlefield 6 a try. Am I on TikTok? No. There are impersonators. There are people who pretend to be me on TikTok. There was even like a professional TikTok account that got like 10,000 views or something like that, or 10,000 followers, whatever it was. But I didn't. That's not me. I do not use TikTok. Raid away. Please don't kill anyone, dude. Missed Raccoon Super Chat? Oh, I'm sorry, let me see. I have a casino heist ready also. I can help you a little bit later, Raccoon. Thank you for the Super Chat, and thank you, Unknown Notion, for the Super Chat. Wasn't it a fan account? I don't know. I don't know. I just know it was popular. I don't know if it was like, if it was a troll or if it was like a general fan. If it was like a general fan, I don't really care about it. Then it's like I'm not gonna like condemn it or anything like that. If it's like a fan, then it's fine. But if it's like somebody who's trolling, then. Nice bike, thank you. What do I prefer, GTA cosplays or Red Dead cosplays? Both are fine. Okay, well, Raid Away and Skull, if you guys could just, not get involved in any kind of drama, and I'll deal with it, a bit later. Let me look at your comment, Jafar. Nice suit, man, thank you. Let me see, Jafar, what is, Jafar, I don't see your comment. Can you just post it again, please? What made you decide to do cosplays? I wanted to move my channel into playthroughs, but I didn't know how to do that, and I wanted to do something different that other people do. Okay, I don't know whose, helicopter this is, but I guess I'll take it then. I heard about it. I didn't watch the interview with Dan Houser. Yes, Liberty City Stories we're gonna do, later this month, yes. Jack Doherty is facing prison time. He's in big trouble with the cops. What has he done now? Wishing your parents a healthy, long life, bro. Thank you, Greens. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Minion Dave, for becoming a member of my channel. Thank you, dude. I'm doing good, Retro. How are you? Yeah, I might do that, Isaiah. I love your content. Thank you, Minion Dave. Will you be doing Mafia 3 DLCs alongside the story? I actually started the DLC. The next part is going to be the DLC. I'm doing the Faster Baby storyline. I think that's what the DLC is called, Faster Baby. So that's, I'm doing that one next. I sent it again, Pro. Let me see. Jafar, I don't see any other messages. I only see those messages from you. I even checked on your profile. I don't see any other messages here. You gotta post it again, dude, but I really don't see it. Do you guys see Jafar's question? Does anybody see it? Because I don't see it. Do you have any college stories? A bunch. Hey, everyone. Thank you, Isaiah, also. I'm playing Chronos: The New Dawn. It's set in Poland in the 80s. I think you'll like it. What's it about? Have I seen Tulsa King? It's like a mob movie. Season 1 reminds me of Vice City. Yes, I actually have. I normally don't have a lot of time to watch stuff on TV and stuff like that, but I did actually watch Tulsa King because it only had 2 seasons, and I was like, okay, if it has 2 seasons, I'll take a look at it, because I don't really like getting into a new show that has so many seasons. But I wanted to watch something that I would have some time, and I did watch Tulsa King. I watched Tulsa King season 1 and season 2. I have not watched season 3. I know it's making episodes right now, but I haven't watched it. It's a survival horror game. Who are the enemies in it? Thank you, Brent Wayne, for subscribing to the channel. But yeah, I would say the Manfredi crime family is probably my favorite mafia in a fictional mafia. Severance? What's that? Joker for Life? By the way, did you guys watch my new series? I uploaded 2 videos, but I'm creating a new series, and this new series is shorts, and I edited those 2 myself, the 2 new videos, but they are, it's gonna be like a short series, like video game history, where I cover like something in a short that something like appears in a video game, and I talk about the real history. I did one on Mafia 3, and I did one on Ghost of Yotei. Yeah. No, I didn't know that, Adrian. I could fixate it, yeah. I could help you out. Okay, Raid Away, we'll just don't argue, in Skull, don't argue with Raid Away, and Raid Away don't argue with Skull, and I'll just take care of it, later. Hey, Pat, I need a break. Video games about 2 or 3 months. I'm really depressed, a mental breakdown. Please don't remove me from PSN. I'm not gonna remove you, Agent. Reaper. You're fine, dude. You're fine. The only time I remove people from my friends list is for 2 reasons. The first reason is if they start some really toxic drama, and the second reason is if they've been offline for more than a year. And that's not you, so don't worry about it. Even if you're offline for months, I'm not gonna, delete you. So you're fine. Don't worry about it, dude. Thank you for the super chat. I hope that you're okay, and I hope everything's fine. If you need anybody to talk to, you can always invite me to a PlayStation party, and I can talk to you. Jafar asked if you have any keywords that are blocked from chat. Yeah, a bunch, but all of my keywords that are blocked from chat are just in general, racist words. Because before I had that filter on, I would have I had people that came in the chat, constantly posting the N-word, and so that's one of the words that I have blocked out. So I have a bunch of racist words blocked out, and people can't post those, and that stopped that from happening. 'Cause people used to years ago people would come into chat and they would post really nasty things, and I didn't know how to stop it at the time, and then I realized that YouTube has a little filter that you can put in, and certain words won't pop up when they type it in. Would I play the original Mafia game? One day, yeah. Do you think Isabella knows her father is dead? It's obvious, yeah. She knows. The fact that Cesare came back and Torrisi didn't come back, yeah, she knows. I don't think she really cared, though. Does the Commission's influence spread across the US or just Empire Bay in the Mafia series? It seems certain groups are selling drugs by Mafia 3. Yeah, apparently the Commission is linked to the Marcano family, I know that. So yeah, they're linked, they're linked together. Any new Tenant horror stories? No, nothing. Nothing really bad has happened. I did have a what was it? I went to my rental property the other day because what happened was my tenants had texted me that the lights in the bathroom don't work. And what basically happened was they would put in like one light bulb and then the other one wouldn't work, or the other one would work and the other one wouldn't. And I was really scared it was going to be some complex electrical problem. And I called up, my handyman, who's a friend of mine, and we went over. There was nobody home that day, so they gave us permission to go in the house. And my friend, he looked at the lights, and he basically says to me, he's like, "Pat, these are like really cheap like bulbs." And then I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, these are really cheap, bad bulbs." And he's like, "If we go and buy good bulbs, I guarantee you all the lights in here will be working." And so all we basically did was we just drove to a hardware store that was a couple miles away, and then came back and then put in the expensive bulbs, and all the lights in the bathroom were working. And that was basically it. That was the issue. I didn't tell them that it was the lights. I just told them the issue was fixed, but that was it. But that it was like a bit of it was a bit of a wasted trip because I thought it was some electrical issue, but it was just they were just using cheap light bulbs, but that was about it. Am I gonna do a Halloween stream? Yes. I just haven't decided on what I'm gonna do for Halloween. Your first Tenant story was unbelievable. Oh yeah, that was just ridiculous. I'm so happy I'm not dealing with those people anymore. They were the most toxic people I dealt with. It was it was bad. Hey Pro, I was asking if you could add me. When I typed my user, it doesn't send. Well, I don't have usernames blocked out. I think that YouTube is automatically blocking out your thing, not my filter, because when people like type in stuff like, "Hey, can you subscribe to me?" When they type stuff in like that, the YouTube usually filters that out. I'm not doing that. I don't even have that in my filter. But YouTube usually does stuff like that. If you want me to add you, I can add you, but just type in your name. Just don't say, "Hey, can you add me?" Just write your name, just your single PSN name, and that might go through, and it might not get removed. So just type in just your full PSN name. Do libertarians have a positive view of corporations or a negative view? The thing is libertarians in general don't have a positive or a negative view of corporations. They just see them as something that exists. However, though, libertarians do have a very negative view of corporations that get involved in the government. So corporations that influence government policy and stuff like that, is that they have a very, very negative view of that. No, I think Diddy should have gotten way more time in prison. What do you think about Dwight's driver? Do you think he's trying too hard to be a gangster? Yeah. And I think the main problem with him is that he in general is trying to enjoy the gangster life, and he's not keeping up a private life like that. Most gangsters that are most gangsters that know what they're doing are gonna keep a very low profile. They don't want attention. They're just gonna keep a very, very low profile. And that's one thing, is that Gotti, John Gotti, for example, he was giving interviews, doing interviews and making public appearances, and the mafia was getting really mad at him for that because he was causing a lot of unwanted attention. But it's like that. Whose mental health? Who you're talking about, Iron? I haven't played the other Dying Light games though yet, JBK. I'll think of something to do. Can I see it now? Let me look.
It's a successful sale. The funds are transferring. Long John out.
Your tutorials really helped me in the beginning. Thank you, Steve Walker. Thanks for the super chat. And Angelo Sola. Thank you. So long, Mel. Have a good trip. That's from Scarface. I remember that. Oh, I see your I see your PSN, Jafar. I can add you, but I'm gonna have to add you after the stream because I can't add really people during the stream. But I'll add you later tonight. Yeah, I have it. I see it now. What's going on, Skull? What's with the motorcycles here? Oh yeah, I heard about that. Mafia 3's anniversary soon. Someone's yacht defenses are on. Everybody check your yacht defenses, make sure that they're off, because when we're flying cargo in this level, it could, you know, in this lobby, it could endanger people's cargo, so please turn it off. Turn it off. Okay, well, don't worry about it right now, Skull. I'll deal with it later. What game do I think Rockstar will do after GTA 5? Probably Red Dead Redemption 3. Do you think Dimitri's death was more satisfying in the Revenge or Deal ending? I thought it was Deal because it was more dramatic. Revenge, because Nico got the upper hand on him. When is Liberty City Stories anniversary? What day is it? Can somebody tell me what day is the anniversary for Liberty City Stories? Oh, October 25th. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm calling Lester. Thank you, Minion Dave. Okay, October 25th. Okay.
Why, hello. How you doing? How can I help? Okay, I'll get you out of trouble. No problem.
React to comments, videos, 6+ months, other topics. Wait, what? Dead animal skins? I'm confused. React to what? To comment videos? 6 months? Wait, what are you talking about? Liberty City Stories, the 2005 game. Where do you think Jimmy Hoffa's remains are? Either in somewhere deep in the woods, or they have been destroyed completely, like melted down. Every time I feel sick, it feels like I'm dying. I hope that you're okay, Isaiah. Make sure to check, go to a doctor, though, if you're feeling really ill. Did you guys like my idea for Manhunt 3 being in Alaska? Did you guys like my idea for that? I thought that Alaska would be a great setting for a Manhunt game. I did think it would be perfect. Where, like, Manhunt 2 was like the Deep South, and, Manhunt 1 was like the North with, like, a Rust Belt city. I thought that, like, Alaska would be a great setting for another Manhunt. I know some people got mad at me for using AI, but I wasn't really using AI for a video. I just used it for a poll, just to create images. Like, that was basically it. No, I don't really use AI in my videos. It was just to create images for a poll, just to kind of, like, show, like, a concept of what it would look like. basically. I made a poll asking people where I think the next Manhunt game should take place, and most people chose Tijuana, Mexico. That was like #1 voted location. What about the retail thumbnail? Well, yes, but that wasn't really... That wasn't really for the video. It was maybe just a thumbnail, but everything else in the thumbnail I edited. The reason I used an AI thumbnail for my retail video, like the top 10 tips to survive retail, is because I wanted to upload like a picture of like a really annoying retail manager, but I didn't want to use like somebody's picture on Google, like a real life person. And so I was like, you know what, let me just make that, and then the rest of the thumbnail I edited myself. So that was it. If Manhunt 3 does take place in Mexico, MS-13, cartels, corrupt cops, survivalist, anarchist militia, I think that the military faction that they could have in Manhunt 3, if it's in Mexico, it could be like a corrupt military unit, or like a corrupt special forces unit, or like a corrupt police force, like a corrupt SWAT team, something like that. Well, here's my idea. Here's my idea for Manhunt 3. I think that Manhunt 3 should take place in the wilderness of Alaska. Not like at the very Arctic, not the very top, but like more in the mountains, in the forests, and like small towns. Maybe like somewhere around the Fairbanks area. Maybe like there. And the gangs. I already have an idea for the gangs. They could make like one gang where it could be like an Inuit. Those are the Alaskan native peoples. They could make like an Inuit gang and they wear like the traditional like fur coats, like their Arctic fur coats, and they're like a gang of like hunters. Maybe like they're dressed in like hunting gear and stuff like that. And then there's like another gang that's like this crazy survivalist militia, like wearing tactical gear in like the woods of Alaska, but like something more Alaska themed. Then another gang could be like you could have like this psychotic gang of like killers where they just wear like coats and hoods and hockey masks, and then the military gang. The military gang that I'm thinking about is the military gang could be like Russian mercenaries. That's basically what I think, like a Russian mercenary group in Alaska. Like they're wearing like night vision goggles, like all tactical stuff in the woods. I think that they would be the really dangerous faction you fight at the end of the game. And also like for the they could maybe like make a racist biker gang as like one of the antagonists, because they had like a racist gang in like each Manhunt game too, so they could do something like that as well. What would the story be about? The main character I think should be a an Alaskan native, like an Alaskan Inuit American, because we don't really see many Inuit characters in games. I know that the one guy with the Gatling gun in Metal Gear Solid 1, I know he's an Alaskan Inuit, but he was like an antagonist. But you don't really see like many Inuit characters in games, and so I think the main character could be like an Alaskan American native. But I don't know like what the story could be, how all these gangs fit into it. I don't know. That'll be something that would be figured out. How about an ultra-nationalist Russian mercenary gang? Yeah, well, that's basically what they would be. Like I said, the Russian mercenaries, like, they could be, like, one of the antagonists. Derpat, I explained it. Let me look. Dead animal skins. I'm saying you do those retail React to Commons videos roughly 3 to 6 months apart, but consider other topics such as group projects or job interviews. Yeah, I that we can do. If it's in Alaska, I think it could be a psychotic hunting gang. Well, that's basically what I was saying with like the guys wearing like the hunting gear. We could have that too. Tell me if you think I'm cooking with this, even though it probably wouldn't happen. Top 5 companies Rockstar could outsource their IPs to? The thing is Rockstar will never outsource any of their IPs and to anybody ever. There could be like another company that could go up to Rockstar and offer them like $1 billion for Manhunt, and Rockstar will never, you know, accept that. Even though Rockstar themselves would never make another Manhunt game. Thank you, Blinded Eagle. In a way, April, yeah. Hey, Pro, I love your videos. I always thought Enzo Conti was Enzo, but the game showed the ending. Yeah, and I thought that if I played Mafia 3 before, because I never played Mafia 3, I would have thought that Enzo Conti could possibly be Enzo. That's what I, you know, would have thought too. But he wasn't. Thank you, Tommy Angelo Jr. And thank you, Orcs, Sardorks. Would it be a topic, this be a topic video for you? Involves a cop arresting 8 different sober people for DUI. I don't know if I'm allowed to link it. What? Why? Wait, so, sober people, you mean people that aren't drunk? So, this cop is arresting people that aren't drunk? What's your old man scammer's voice, Pat Rock? My old man scammer's voice? Hello, this is Alex Mason. I fought in the Cuban Missile Crisis. I protected Florida from communism. That was my, you know, old man voice when I would trick the scammers. And I talked to scammers like that, and scammers thought they were talking to an old man, and yeah. Yeah, a lot of scammers are very heartless, evil people. First time I heard you make that voice. Watch my videos where I piss off scammers. There's videos I have in the past where I pissed off scammers, and
Jesus.
What games do you usually play in your free time? One game that I've been playing a lot in my free time recently is Hell Let Loose. Does anybody know Hell Let Loose? Hell Let Loose is a game I play a lot in my free time. I do really enjoy Hell Let Loose because I like history a lot, and Hell Let Loose is like the most realistic World War II game on console. It's the closest thing that you'll see to actual World War II combat. If you want like the most realistic World War II combat, it would be Hell Let Loose on console. And yeah, so Hell Let Loose, I do generally enjoy that game. It's one of my favorite games. You're gonna show me the shy illegal freedom guide, illegal enters Chernobyl. Thank you, Vertigo, for the comment. But you know, I will tell you though something, guys. Personally though, when it comes to some of those parkour like YouTube channels though, some of those guys piss me off, and I'll also tell you why they piss me off, Vertigo. Because those parkour channels, the reason I don't like them is because these guys are like illegally climbing up on buildings. A lot of times, like they find some way to get up on these buildings where they're not supposed to be getting up on, and it is a form of trespassing. You know, they're not supposed to, you know, be up there, but they're trespassing. And what they do is when the police, like, you know, see them and they try to like arrest them, they put in this dramatic music. They put in this crazy, like, dramatic... You guys know what I'm talking about, like, right? The parkour people, they make, like, these videos where, like, the police are chasing them, and they put in, like, this dramatic music, and then they're, like, running away from the police, and then they post that, and then they make tons of money from that. And I will say about this is they're portraying the police like the police are bad guys. Like, the police are doing something bad by, like, trying to stop them. It's like you have some idiot that's climbing up on roofs, trespassing, jumping from building to building. Like, you think the police aren't going to try to stop you? and they're portraying the police like the police are bad guys for trying to stop them. It's like, literally, dude, it's like you're climbing up on people's buildings and like jumping from building to building, climbing up on these pipes and all this other crap. Like, you know, the Subway Surfers, it's the same thing. And these guys get monetized on YouTube. I don't even know why YouTube allows that content to be monetized, but they allow that content to be monetized, and these guys are making, you know, tons of money, you know, basically wasting police resources, having the police chase them from rooftop to rooftop, and then they make money off of it. It pisses me off, honestly. That's why I don't like these parkour channels. Do you think you'll make a video rant about it, Pat? Honestly speaking, I probably wouldn't. And the reason I probably wouldn't is because if I made a specific rant about a specific, like, you know, parkour guy or something like that, some of these parkour people, they have millions of subscribers. All the guy would need to do is he would just need to make one video criticizing me, and then his fans would just flood to my videos and just start harassing me and being toxic and causing drama. And honestly speaking, I don't want that. I'm not in the mood for drama. I'm not a drama channel, so you know, I don't want to deal with stuff like that. I will tell you guys though, there was this one YouTube channel that spread like false information about GTA Online or GTA in general. I don't want to say, you know, who this channel is. I think people are gonna figure out who the channel is. But basically what this channel was doing is this guy was lying that he had GTA 6. Like, it was years ago where he was lying constantly that he had GTA 6, and there was all these little kids that believed him. They believed him, and what happened was I made like a YouTube video, and I said, this guy does not have GTA 6, he doesn't have it, it's all BS, it's all lies, he never shows you any gameplay, it's all, you know, fake. And the guy never made a YouTube video about me, but even though the guy never made a YouTube video about me, his fans saw my video. And what happened was I had all these little kids basically just coming into my channel, and they were harassing me like during live streams. This happened maybe like 2017, 2018, so this is like 7 years ago. But people, you know, these little kids were coming into my, you know, stream and harassing me, and they were basically saying to me like, you know, oh, you're just jealous, you know, he does really have GTA 6, he has it, I've seen his videos. And these kids were just basically just harassing me constantly, and it was really annoying. And I even had these people come into my channel, and they would leave comments saying, oh, you know, this YouTuber has millions of subscribers, professional, you don't have millions of subscribers, you're just jealous, that's why you're, you know, criticizing him. Trust me, I am not jealous, you know. I'd rather have the channel I have right now than have like millions of subscribers and like make fake videos uploading like GTA 6 clickbait. No, thank you, I'm good. I'd rather have a channel where the majority of people like me and actually like me as a person and enjoy my content and respect me, than have, like, you know, millions of views and people hate my guts for clickbait. So yeah, I'm good. So trust me, I'm not jealous of those people. Thank you, Bork, for that super chat earlier. Oh. Thank you, Golden Stripe. Thank you. And just because somebody is just because somebody super chats does not make them immune from being blocked and banned. But that was you know, and what an idiot, racist name, and, you know, trying to post spoilers too. Lincoln looks a little bit like Isabella or Joe. Hopefully he comes back in Mafia 4, and we can find out who the real family is. Yeah, maybe. They never said who his parents were. Maybe they left that up to interpretation. And thank you, Alpha for Halo. Pat, scammers in India are paying $10 and build trust and scam victims, but I have stolen 100 from scammers. Also, why Mr. Boss is your favorite YouTuber? Mr. Boss is not my favorite YouTuber. What are you talking about? And you have stolen hundreds of dollars from scammers? How did you steal money from scammers? I'm really curious on that. And thank you, Dylan. How are you, Pro? Possibly thinking of making videos again. Maybe even doing live streams to take my mind off the retail we've been dealing with. I support you, Dylan. Let me know whenever you have one of those live streams. I might come to them. Oh, wait, there's $200 donation. I'm sorry I didn't see it earlier. Crash Bean. Thank you, dude. Hey, Pro, love your content. You deserve everything and then some. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Crash. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Crash. Thank you. Thank you, dude. Thanks, man. Thank you. Everybody give Crash Bash there a special shout out there. Thank you, Crash Bash. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man. It's one of the largest donations I've gotten. Thank you, dude. Are you still here, Crash? Thank you. $200 donation. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Will I play the Wolfenstein games someday? Yeah, I'm open to playing them. I'm even open to playing the really old ones, too. What do you think of the guy harassing the Rockstar employee? I'm actually going to make a crazy current events video about that this week. I know what you're talking about. The guy he's harassing people in Scotland. Yeah. Crash, are you still here in chat? Crash? Thank you, dude. Thanks, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy that my content, you know, that people really enjoy my content, and they that people really enjoy my content like that. Thank you, dude. That means a lot to me. Well, I answered that one earlier, Gunner. I said that libertarians don't really have a negative or positive view of corporations, but they get really mad if corporations influence government policy or get involved in the government. I saw part of it, but I wasn't able to read it fully, Golden. But thank you for taking care of that really quickly. And honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to his super chat. The only thing I was really paying attention to is I saw the 3 racist letters, and then that was that. I didn't even bother really reading what he was posting. Scammers give you a task, complete, they pay, and build trust. Once they fail to scam you, they sell your data, a new scammer comes in. So I took hundreds of dollars? Wait. Scammers give you a task, complete, they paid and build trust. And they fail to scam you. They sell your data and a new scammer comes in and... Wait, so I'm a bit confused, Alpha. Can you explain more?
Damn, sorry. Hold on. Do you want the crazy's autograph?
The most we got on Lincoln's parents are descriptions of African-American mom and Italian dad. Didn't they say that his mom was from the Dominican Republic? But she was black from the Dominican Republic, right? Composite creativity, correct me if I'm wrong.
We need to meet up for drinks.
He had an Italian dad, but according to some Mafia fans, every other male character, Lincoln Teresi, looks like Joe Barbaro. I don't know if Joe Barbaro is Lincoln's dad. I don't know on that one. That I don't know on. I know people are speculating on that, but Oh, it's like 63 days, but it's set in like feudal area, Gunner.
Cryptocurrency.
That was rude.
Did I see the Battlefield 6 ad? It's really funny. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They were making fun of Call of Duty. I know. Yeah, they made fun of Call of Duty. They had like those celebrities show up, and then the celebrities get blown up, and then they actually show the real characters. Yeah, it's kind of funny that the celebrities signed on for that just for like 10 seconds of screen time just to get blown up.
Please watch where you're going.
Well, money's tight right now. Had to outsource some.
What's wrong, Xander? No, I haven't, Mason.
Yes, hello?
What do you mean my bank account's been open?
Can you invite me to your hangar, please, Monster Drama? Please send me an invite to the hangar.
Don't be an ass. Let's just walk away from this, alright?
What happened? You never called back. Cool.
I'm so
Thank you.
sorry.
In this game is on console, Gunner? Yeah, Medal of Honor Airborne is a game I'm gonna be doing. Yeah. And Crash, are you Crash, are you still here, dude? Can I add you, by the way? Also, I can add you after the stream. Let me see. What is it here? I remember you said internships aren't as helpful as people think they are. What makes you think that? Just curious. I never had any myself. Here's the thing is, guys. Most internships are a scam. They are. The only internships that I would say that aren't really a scam are maybe the internships that pay you. But here's the thing is, when you do an internship, right? You know, you are trying to learn how to be that specific job. So maybe you want to be like a maybe you want to be like a businessman or something like that, or a business director, and they basically have you taking an internship where you are working in their offices as like their secretary, organizing paperwork for them, right? The thing about that is that a lot of times these internships, they'll pay you little to nothing, almost little to nothing, and these companies, they talk about, oh, you learn valuable skills with the business and the company and all this other stuff, but all you're doing most of the time is you're just organizing their paperwork and just doing all the paperwork for the lazy CEOs. That's what an internship is, and they pay you almost nothing. Sometimes they don't even pay you anything. So sometimes the internships, they don't even pay you at all. So that's what I would say is internships are basically like a scam for these companies to basically just get free labor. That's what they ultimately are. A lot of them are. I'm not saying every internship is a scam, but a lot of them are. So like internships are heavily known for that type of stuff. Is this companies just trying to get cheap labor basically out of you. Oh, okay, Gunner. Is there a difference as to why the British Empire wasn't punished for colonizing so many places, but Germany was punished? Well, Germany kind of was punished after World War I, but they were, the problem with Germany's punishment is that the people that were doing the punishment, France and Britain, were colonizers themselves, and they had, you know, they had taken Iraq and Syria and Lebanon as new colonies from Germany, and taken African colonies from Germany as well. So they took Germany's colonies for themselves, and after and Germany was forced to make payments to a lot of countries after World War II, but Britain, the reason that Britain was never really fully punished for any of its, you know, colonization was primarily because it was a strong American ally, and because it was a major, you know, major supporter of NATO. That was one of the primary reasons. And the thing is, though, is one major mistake that the United States made, one major mistake the U.S. made, is that the U.S. should have pushed for decolonization more at the end of World War II. Like, we really should have, because I know FDR was big on that, and while I think that Truman was in general a better president than FDR, I think, you know, FDR was right to push for, like, a lot of the decolonization, because FDR was pushing for that, for decolonization after World War II, and Britain did lose majority of its colonies after World War II, but, you know, that was about that, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good on America's record when, you know, we have countries in NATO that had, you know, that had massive colonial empires at the time, because the Soviet Union just used that as propaganda. They used that as propaganda, and they said, oh, you know, there's colonial powers like, you know, Portugal and France in the in NATO and stuff like that, and they would say, oh, because of this, NATO is like a you know, an imperialist, you know, Western, you know, capitalist, blah, 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 whatever the Soviets would say is their propaganda. But what the Soviets wouldn't tell you is that they were doing their own colonization. They were. You know, you look at the Warsaw Pact, you look at Poland and Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Romania, that's examples of Soviet colonization. So they were there, and, you know, Afghanistan, you could argue, was probably one too. I can contact you. I expose all types of scammers. What is this, like a call center scam that you're going after with these people? And thank you, Demigod, and thank you, Alpha Halo. Thank you, guys. Did I tell you that I had a manager spit on me, Pat? No, you never told me that, Suppressor, but you know what you should do? If that happened to you fairly recent, call the police. That's what you should do, because that is assault. When they spit on you, that is assault. So that was illegal, pretty much, you know, doing that. A lot of people don't know that. If they spit on you, that is assault. I had a customer spit at me once. He didn't, you know, hit me with the spit, but he spit at me. And so that is assault when that happens. So I really hope you called the police on him. Are you taking down the Southern Union in Mafia 3 right now? No, I'm doing the Faster Baby DLC in Mafia 3. Why isn't the United States considered a former colony of the British Empire when majority of Americans speak English? Yeah, and here's what I will tell you guys. America is a victim of British colonialism. It is. A lot of people don't think so. I don't know why so many people don't think that America was a victim of British colonialism. It was. The difference between, like, a lot of other countries is that Britain would invade, like, a foreign land and colonize them. But when it came to America, you know, a lot of Americans were descended from Britain. But what happened was the British would basically treat you like garbage if you were born in America. So let's say that your parents were from Britain, right? And you were, like, living in colonial America. If you tried to call yourself British, you said, you know, I'm an Englishman, you know, stuff like that. Like, they would say, you're not an Englishman, you're a colonist. That's what they would say to you. And so there was basically this elitism, this sense of elitism developed, where they basically said, oh, because we're born in Britain and you're born in America, we are superior to you and you are inferior to us. And that was one of the reasons also for the revolution, is that it was basically that elitism. Like, George Washington was a victim of that. Like, George Washington served in the British Army for years, and I think the max rank that he got was captain, even though his service was extraordinary in the French and Indian War. Like, he won a lot of victories, and he only got as far, I think, as captain. And one of that was the discrimination against colonial, born Americans. And that's, you know, where that term really came from, was Americans. That the British started calling us that, and we, you know, took that as a compliment. But also it was another thing is that Americans got scammed. Americans got scammed really badly by the British, and this goes into how America was a victim of British colonialism, because we got taxed for the French and Indian War, but yet we did not have a say in the government. So we didn't have a say where, you know, British people had a say in their government. We didn't have a say in our taxes, so we would have, you know, new taxes, you know, put on us, and we had no say in that whatsoever. And one of the worst things they did was mercantilism, and mercantilism was a scam. It was a giant scam, and this is where what people don't understand. The British Empire was not a capitalist empire. It wasn't. People think that it was a capitalist empire, but it wasn't. It was a mercantilist empire. There's a difference. It wasn't like socialist, but it wasn't capitalist. And here's basically what the difference is. And let me invite me to the next business when you get the chance here. So basically, bunker. Okay. So let me explain here, because people get confused by this. Under a capitalist system, right? A capitalist system is people trade freely. So, you know, I sell something, you can buy it from me, and then you can sell something to me. That's basically it. It's like we have the freedom to choose where we buy, where we shop, you know, stuff like that. That's generally, you know, a capitalist system. The reason the British system wasn't capitalist, at least not in America, we lived under a mercantilist system. It wasn't a capitalist system. What mercantilism basically is what the British would do is they would create goods in America. So what they would do is, if they would make ships in America, they would make furniture in America, they would make guns in America, they would make you know, houses, house materials, you know, anything that you can think of producing, you know, any kind of goods that they would produce it from America. So it was produced on our own soil, and then what they did was they sold that stuff back to us for a massive ripoff. Like, they sold, it wasn't just like making like double the amount of money. Like, they would make triple or quadruple on us what it would actually cost to make that stuff. And I know what you're thinking. You know, why can't you just buy from the French or the Spanish or the Dutch, right? Well, we weren't allowed to. That was illegal. So that's what mercantilism was. It was, they were making products in America using our resources on our soil, and then they were selling it back to us literally for quadruple the price, scamming us, ripping us off. We had no say in that whatsoever, no say in the government, so we couldn't, you know, stop that from happening, and it was illegal to buy from other people. So if there was, like, if a French merchant, you know, sailed into, like, you know, Boston, for example, and started selling, like, furniture, if you bought furniture from him, that would be illegal. You'd get arrested for that. That was what mercantilism was. You were only allowed to buy from the mother country. You were only allowed to buy from Britain, and that's basically what it was. And when the government is telling you where you can shop, is telling you where you can and can't buy stuff from, that's not capitalism at that point. That's a controlled economy, and that's what mercantilism is. Mercantilism was a colonial system that Britain used, and it wasn't just in America. They did the same thing in, like, you know, places like India, where they would produce the goods in India, they would steal resources from India, they would produce the goods there, and then they would sell it back to the Indians for, you know, quadruple the amount of price, scamming them. And so that was basically how British mercantilism worked. And Britain wasn't the only country that did this. A lot of countries engaged in mercantilism. The Spanish did this a lot too. But that was basically it. They didn't let us choose who we were buying from, and that's not really, when you think about it, that's not really a capitalist system. If you have a system that is that's deciding on where you can and can't buy stuff from. One of the people that stopped this was John Hancock. John Hancock, he was a smuggler in Boston. And he would basically bring in goods, like cheap goods from other places. Like, he would bring in cheap goods from the French, he would bring in cheap goods from the Spanish, you know, stuff like that. So he would bring in cheaper goods and sell it to the, you know, the American market. And a lot of people saw him as like a freedom fighter, because he was fighting the system and he was giving Americans more of a fair deal. That was basically it. So yeah, so, you know, when people say that America wasn't a victim of, you know, British colonialism, that statement is false. You know, I would say there was other countries that suffered more than America, like India, for example, suffered more than America under British colonialism, but you can't really say that, like, America wasn't a victim of British colonialism. It was. You know, the only difference is that Americans originally came from Britain, but they were scammed and, you know, treated like crap. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons on why the American Revolution happened. It wasn't just, you know, just one day we decided to be independent. It all led up to a bunch of stuff, and then eventually eventually when we had, you know, the Battle of Lexington and Concord, the whole thing just blew up, and Americans got pissed off at that point, and it was over. Okay, 1 second here. Again, just because someone super chats doesn't mean that you're immune from crap. And honestly, he thinks that I'm stupid enough to like read that too. Like the second I see the avatar, you know, that I saw the SS Lightning Bolt avatar, he thinks I'm stupid enough to read that. What's your opinion on America bombing the cartel ships? Here's what I'll say about that. I really don't like getting involved in politics, but on this one, I will speak on this. I think it's a great thing. I think it's generally good. Because here's the thing is, the cartels, the only thing the cartels understand is they understand force. That's the only thing they understand. And we already blew up 2 ships. There was 2 ships that were blown up. And it was because we declared them a terrorist organization. And when we declared them a terrorist organization, that means the United States military can now act against them. And that's why, you know, the government was able to blow up the cartel ships. So I think it's a good thing. But, you know, you have, like, I was reading some of the comments talking about that, and people were saying, like, you know, oh, we should have just boarded their ships and arrested them, and, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, is it really, you know, okay to kill people smuggling drugs? But what the people that are leaving those comments, what they don't understand, the cartel are a bunch of ruthless killers. Like, these guys are cold-blooded killers. Like, these guys are some of the most worst cold-blooded killers out there. I would say the cartels are even worse than the triads. That's what I would say about that. Like, they are some of the most cold-blooded, evil killers. Like, they will kill kids. They don't even care at all. No compassion, nothing whatsoever. And I guarantee you, the people that got blown up on that ship, I guarantee you that at least one of them committed a murder. At least one of them did. Because that is it, is that these drug traffickers are almost every single drug trafficker has killed at least one person. Almost everybody has. So that's basically what I'll say about this, is that these guys are like, you know, cold-blooded killers, and we blew up 2 ships that had drugs on them, and this is what's going to stop this, is because the cartel knows that at any moment they could just get blown up when they're, you know, on their ship, and that they only understand force. That's basically what I'll say, is that they only understand force, and that's basically going to stop them, is that they know, you know, if we try to smuggle drugs into America, our ships are going to get blown up by drones. And that's going to stop it, at least. At least they're going to have to try to find other ways to smuggle it in. They're not going to be coming in by boat. So that's basically what I'll say about that, is when it comes to bombing the cartels, airstriking them, drone striking them, I have no problem with that. These guys, like I said, are cold-blooded, evil killers, and I think everybody should agree on that. You know, regardless of, you know, what your political viewpoints is, I think everybody should generally agree with that. And, you know, I see people in, like, Europe, you know, saying, like, you know, for example, oh, this is too harsh, you know, you're blowing up people who are smuggling drugs. The Europeans don't understand what we deal with in America. They don't have the cartels in Europe. They don't understand that. They don't understand how evil these guys are. They don't understand how ruthless these guys are. If you live in Europe, just be happy that you don't deal with the cartels, because we deal with that in America all the time, and it's just a massive problem. This is just, these guys are like really, really evil and really ruthless, and so if the government keeps drone striking them, I really don't care. I support it, because that's generally a good thing. Like I said, these guys only understand force, violence. That's the only thing they understand. Well, Karl Marx is the one who created, you know, communism as an ideology. He wrote the Communist Manifesto. Oh, I could have just taken the bottom route. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, that was... Okay, yeah, I don't know why I drove up here. I could have just taken... What do you think about consumerism? I think that was the, if you remember Dead Rising 1, in Dead Rising 1, that was what the main moral lesson was. It was like this, it was criticizing gluttony. That's basically what it was, and like the mass consumerism. It was basically like saying the zombies are like, you know, the consumers. That's what the moral lesson in Dead Rising 1, the shopping mall. The thing is, though, is that... How do I address this? In America, you have all these different, you know, options on, you know, what you can buy, and it's all just generally a great thing. You know, we have, you know, stuff available from every country in the world, and we have, like, an infinite amount of goods that we can just basically keep buying. But I will say, when it gets to the point of, like, gluttony, when you're just, like, hoarding, you're just craving stuff, and it's like, there is stuff that you can deal without, that you don't need, you know, all of this crap constantly. And that was what it was. It was like this corporate greed that basically pushed the U.S. government in Dead Rising 1 to, they were experimenting with the cattle, and what they ended up doing was they ended up creating a zombie parasite from the cattle, and that basically caused the whole outbreak in Dead Rising 1, because they were just trying to sell cheap meat on the American market and make a ton of money from it, and it was just the greed and the consumerism and the gluttony. That was basically what ended up causing it. Stream is lagging? Is it lagging? Wait, what? Hey bud, how's it going? It's going good, Justin. How are you, dude? Yeah, people should never live live like that, TY. They shouldn't just, you know, obsession with just buy. It's like... Personally, one thing I never understood. What happened here? What's going on here? Wait. Two more drops. Oh crap! It's That's basically it. We started the sale with just 3 people. Okay, I can make these drops in that time. Okay, yeah, I can make this. I didn't realize we're doing this with 3 people. Look, here's what I'll tell you about this, is... You know who the people that go broke the quickest? You know who goes broke the quickest? It's the people who try to act rich. That's basically what I'll say. Rich people don't act rich, if you know what I mean. Is that rich people, they spend on the essentials that they need. But they don't basically go, you know, above and beyond on a lot of this, you know, crazy crap. And I'm not talking like the billionaires, I'm just talking people that are millionaires. People become millionaires because they don't spend money on all this stupid crap. They don't, you know, they don't take out loans that they don't need. They don't try to impress their friends with all these fancy cars and buying $50,000 pickup trucks to impress their friends. You know, they don't do stuff like that. And so that is, you know, saving money. Like for example, me, like, I have been driving the same car since 2017. And I will keep driving that car until it basically is too expensive to fix. That's basically it. Is I don't, yeah, I'll just keep driving the same car until it's too expensive to fix. I see a car get me from point A to point B. I look at some of these rich people, like, and some of these rich people are like real idiots, or these people that are trying to act rich, I should say, at least too. Is like you have people that spend like $10,000 on Rolexes. And, you know, if somebody walked up to me and they showed me their watch, and like, look, it's my $10,000 Rolex, look at this right here, right? If they, you know what I would say to them? If they showed me that $10,000 watch, like, you spent $10,000 on something that can tell you the time? That's basically what I would tell them. Like, I am not impressed. So, like that is a waste of money. And what basically happens is, all somebody needs to do is just punch you in the face and just take the Rolex, and that's it, it's gone. $10,000 down the toilet, just like that. That's it. You could have like an accident. You could literally fall down a bunch of steps, and then what happens is you smash your Rolex on the ground, $10,000 watch like that, gone. So literally is that's basically what I'll say about that, is that they spend money on all these stupid things. Like I would never even spend more than $100 on a watch. Like never. Like I would never spend even more than $100 on a watch. Like just something to tell me the time. I don't even really need a watch. I just have, you know, I have my phone for that to tell me the time. So I can never imagine like spending that much money on like something to tell you the time. Like I don't understand that. So like when people buy like $10,000 watches, they're buying it to show off. That's basically it. It serves no other purpose. There is no actual purpose to a $10,000 watch. The only purpose to that is to show off. That is literally the only purpose to it. And so that's what I'll never understand about some of these people, is that they spend so much money to impress others. It's like, who cares? That's it. You know what I would do if I had that $10,000 instead? You know what I would do? I would just invest that into my rental property business. I would just invest that into buying another rental property. Start saving up for another rental property, which is what I'm doing. So that's basically it. I would just think about my business. That's it. I wouldn't think about buying like a $10,000 watch to impress somebody. It's dumb. It's stupid. You know, there are people who are starving in other countries, don't have enough, there are people who don't have enough money to put food on the table, and then you have some idiot that basically is like, oh, let me buy a $10,000 watch and show off with it. Oh, crap. That was an accident, by the way. He didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. It just happened. I remember when Ghost Recon Wildlands came, the Bolivian government was upset about their portrayal in the game because of cartel groups in Bolivia. Bolivia has a massive corruption problem. It does. It has a massive corruption issue. And the thing is, like, honestly speaking, I don't like the Bolivian government. I don't want to get into, the politics, but Bolivian government is extremely toxic. It is. Bolivia has historically been controlled by several socialist parties, and all they basically all they do is they just say negative things about America. Like, it's constantly, every single comment that they always say something negative about America. And don't get me wrong, America does bad things, and when we do bad things, we should be criticized for it. But it's like, when it comes to the Bolivian government, it's like, nothing America does can ever be good. Like, it's every single time they always say something bad. Always something bad. It's like, American imperialism this, American imperialism that. That's probably the #1 words that come out of the Bolivian government. And honestly, for a country that criticizes America so much, they should clean up the corruption in their country. Because Bolivia is like one country that has some of the worst corruption. There's massive, insane corruption in Bolivia. So that's what I'll say about it. They're also pissed off about their portrayal in Ghost Recon Wildlands. But while Bolivia is not this narco state that we see in like Ghost Recon Wildlands, it was just a story that was basically just written like that. It was just like a story that the Mexican cartel took over Bolivia. That's all it was. It's not meant to offend the Bolivians. That's just how the story was written. I didn't get offended by the fact that they had like SOCOM 3 takes place in Poland. And in SOCOM 3, there's this communist group that like tries to do a coup on the Polish government and take over the Polish government, and they are the main enemies in SOCOM 3. And so as somebody who's like a Polish American, I don't take offense to that. It's just like you have like one part of the story that takes place in Poland, and you have like an evil Polish group that you're fighting against. So like I don't get personally why they're so mad about stuff like that. Thank you, Angelo, for the super chat. And thank you, Ryan. Hey, Pro, would you consider streaming the BioShock games? I played through the first 2 recently, and it was a ton of fun. Yeah, I would play if I'm going to stream something in BioShock, I'd stream the multiplayer in BioShock 2, if it's still up. But BioShock, BioShock 1, I have it on PS4. I have it. I have the remaster. So I'd like to do a playthrough of it one day. Yeah, a playthrough of it. I'd be down for that. I love the BioShock games. Thank you, Ryan, for the super chat. Mafia 3 next video tomorrow. What's the best thing Rockstar could do for GTA 6's online compared to GTA 5 online? Add more RP elements to the game. More role-playing stuff. Like stuff where... I mean, like... Let me ask you something, guys. Do you, and I want to ask the chat this question here, because we're gonna figure out whether the chat makes us feel like we're playing as a criminal or not. When you are smuggling guns in GTA Online, right? When you're running the bunker, do you guys feel like you're an arms dealer? Do you feel like you're an arms trafficker, or do you feel like you're more of an errand boy? Like let me ask you guys. Do you feel like you're playing as an arms dealer when you're smuggling guns from the bunker, or do you feel more like you are an errand boy? Like what do you feel like exactly? Like when you're playing that? Like, do you actually feel like you're an arms dealer? Because, like, I don't get the feeling that I'm playing as, like, an arms dealer. I get the feeling as, like, I'm playing as, like, an errand boy. This basically is, like, this, Agent 14 is telling me, go and sell this. Like, that's basically it. I don't feel like I'm actually, like, an arms dealer. And I think that that's what GTA 6 should improve on, is that GTA 6 Online should add role-playing to the game. Like, actual role-playing. Like, when you are you could choose to be an arms dealer in the online, and when you're an arms dealer, you actually feel like you're an arms dealer. You maybe do actual weapon sales, you go to a deal, you negotiate stuff like that, you make a deal on how much money you're selling, how much product you're selling, stuff like that, and you calculate it and see how much money you're making. Like, somebody like, if we could play as somebody like Yuri Orlov in Lord of War, one of my favorite movies, if we could play as somebody like that, like in the online, or like and the same thing regarding drugs. The same thing, like when we're selling cocaine or something like that, we actually feel like we're a drug trafficker or like a cartel boss or something like that. Not like LJT is telling us go and sell this and doing that and driving a garbage truck and making 5 drops, stuff like that. You guys agree with me that the criminal stuff in the next GTA game, in the online, it should be more focused on role playing stuff. Like it should be like where you actually feel like you're actually playing the role you're playing. That you're not like go drive this vehicle from this point to sell this. Like it should not be like that's basically what I think about it. Is it should have more role playing to it. That's ultimately my position on it. Let me help you, Ale. I didn't get the chance to help you last time, Ale, so I'll help you right now. Pierston and Unknown, I'm gonna help you guys after I help Ale. Ale's the last person I'll help sell, and I'll start helping people with their heists. I'll do Ghost Recon Wildlands one day too. Yeah, but like, imagine if you had like a business where you could work with like another player, right? Like imagine if you had something like a little bit hard for me to explain, but like imagine that like one player had like one player had a business where they would produce cocaine. Like they had like a laboratory like this, but it wasn't like the grindy aspect to it. Like you would have something in GTA 6 where you would like run a business producing cocaine. And once you do the business producing cocaine, there's another player that's interested. Another player says, I want to buy the cocaine that this player has. And then you set up like a deal and you meet with the player and then you sell him you decide on the sale, you negotiate or something like that, and then you sell that to that player. And then that player sells that in like smaller amounts. They make like smaller sales, and then they make more money from that. Something like that where it's like connected to 2 players. Like something, I think that would be cool. Like, having something like that. But I don't think that it's going to go this deep. I think that GTA 6, I think it's going to be the exact same thing. I think it's going to be the same thing. We have the businesses grow, and then you just drive the vehicle from point A to point B. That's basically what I think about it. And the closest thing that we got to like actual role playing on GTA Online is when Rockstar added the bikers update. Like the bikers update was the closest thing that we actually got to like that role play stuff, because people could actually form like biker gangs and like biker clothes, and you can drive in formation and you get bonuses and you complete jobs together. Stuff like that. That was cool when they did stuff like that. And I think that Rockstar really missed out on that. Is that what Rockstar should have done? Is they should have added more updates like the biker update. But what they should have done is they should have done a cartel update. Like one update where it's like a cartel one. And basically you have like different cartel ranks. And like you invite people to your cartel. And the cartel is like the same thing like the CEO, but better. So like, how you have the CEOs and bikers, you can invite people to your cartel. So like, you get like an invite, you join the cartel in the lobby, and it's like an organization like this. And like the roles would be like Jefe for boss and stuff like that. And then like the other ones, Sicario would be like the other roles, stuff like that. And they would have their own abilities. I think they really missed out on doing something like that. And then what they could have done is they could have done like a gangster update, like something like San Andreas, like GTA San Andreas, something like that. Where you form your own gang. Something like Grove Street and the Ballas, something like that. And then they could have done like a something like a mafia update too. Mafia update, like Don, Capo, Underboss, Consigliere, stuff like that in general. Crash, are you still here, dude, by the way? Did you ever tell me your PSN? I hope I answered your question, there. You also plan to do a fun Halloween stream this year? Yes, Somebody32. I don't know what I'm gonna do for Halloween yet, but I'm gonna do something. I hope I answered your question also, Somebody32. And Bakken, Jeff Vivango's OCRP life server in 5M has a similar concept where you can sell drugs to NPCs and vice versa. The NPCs can also dictate the price for drugs. And something like that is cool. Like, and the market changes and stuff like that. I think that would be, stuff like that I think in general would be really cool. Thank you, Bakken. Thank you, Atron. Has GTA Online proved that most players don't really care about role-playing, though? Everyone only cares about making money. Yeah, but I think if you had role-playing, you would attract more players. Like, it would make the game more fun. Well, to be honest, I think Bolivia's hatred towards America is somewhat justified because the U.S. installed some really brutal dictators in their country in the past. Sure, and I get that. The CIA were scumbags, and they did, like, coups in other countries. I get that. But if you look at who does Bolivia surround themselves with today? Like, who are Bolivia's friends? Bolivia's friends are Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. All, you know, socialist countries that are dictatorships. That is who Bolivia's friends are today. So, honestly, like, a country like Bolivia constantly complaining about American imperialism, I can't take a country like that seriously. The government, I can't take them seriously. Because all of their allies are dictators. Like, all of their allies today are dictatorships. Like, countries that violate their people's rights constantly. So that's basically what I'll say about that. Is, yes, the CIA made mistakes. We did bad things in other countries. But, you know, it is 2025. You know, the Cold War is over. And the CIA does do some bad things still today. But it's not to the extent that, like, you know, what the crap that happened during the Cold War. So that's ultimately what I'll say about that. Is that Bolivia should look at the countries that they associate themselves with today. And, like, Venezuela and Cuba and Nicaragua are not good countries to associate yourselves with. Who has better morals or characters, Luis or Victor? Maybe Luis, because Luis ultimately tries to like live a legitimate life. Vic gets into drugs a lot, but Luis at least tries to live more legitimately. Why are the feds going after Carlo in the final mission? Well, it's because of Henry. Thank you, Humberto, for the super chat. I was listening to Maybe by the Chantels, which reminds me of Christmas. Oh, the Mafia 2 song, right? Not gonna lie, my heart aches because this holiday season, will be my first without my dad. He passed away a month ago. I'm sorry, Sweet Pumpkin. You have my condolences. It's never easy losing a parent. I can't imagine what that's like. Do you think Nicaragua and Cuba will allow you into their countries? You're not as critical of them as China. I don't know. When it comes to Cuba, I'm not really worried about something bad happening to me in Cuba, because if something bad happened to me as an American in Cuba, there would be a diplomatic international incident, and Cuba does not want that. As for Nicaragua would be way more dangerous. Because Nicaragua, you could get kidnapped by some gang or mafia that's working directly for the government, and you'll just disappear, and it's like there's no trace of you ever, and then Nicaragua will deny that you ever were there. So that's basically what I'll say about that, is that Nicaragua would be way more dangerous of a place to visit than Cuba. Well, yeah, make sure to... Yeah. Christmas is a great holiday, Sweet Pumpkin. What do you think of Nassar? You're talking about the guy who tried to link the Arab world, like he tried to make like one giant Arab country. He tried to link Egypt and Syria, and Egypt and Syria ended up hating each other even more. So they ended up hating each other, and then they broke away. Here's what I'll say about this. There have been talks about this for a long time, about like Arab countries unifying into like one giant super state. But I will tell you something like that. The Arab world is never going to unite into one giant country. It's never going to happen. Even though they all speak the same language, it's never going to happen. It isn't. I know there's different dialects in the Arab countries, but here's the thing: is every Arab country is different. They speak the same language, and a lot of them do have the same religion, but their cultures are different, and also the wealth. You have like really, really rich Arab countries like the United Arab Emirates, which are very rich. But then you have like really, really poor Arab countries as well. And that's, I will say that and you have all these different factions in all these countries. they're never going to link together. They will never become one giant country. It's not going to happen. And here's what I will tell you about it. Something like that is that if the Arab countries unified into one giant country, do you know what would happen? The country would be run by the really rich Arab states. The really rich ones would run it, like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and then countries like Iraq, Yemen, Jordan. Those countries would be pushed aside. Morocco, they would be pushed aside. So that's basically what I'll say about that, is that they would basically be ruled by the really rich countries, and it would just not work out. And so it's never gonna happen. Yeah, that is true also, Bakken. And and also, if you look at Iraq and Syria, both of those countries used to be Ba'athist dictatorships. They both generally had the same political ideology. Ba'athism is basically a form of ultra-nationalism. You could argue it's fascist in a way too. But it was like Saddam Hussein in Iraq, and then you had al-Assad in Syria. And even though they were both the same political ideology, both of them hated each other. Like, both Iraq and Syria hated each other. Both the Ba'athists in Iraq hated the Ba'athists in Syria, and the Ba'athists in Syria hated the Ba'athists in Iraq. So that's what I'll say about that, is that it's the Arab world is never going to unify into a single country. I don't think it's ever going to happen. And it's the same thing also with my parents are from Poland, and for example, Slavs, the group that's in Eastern Europe. You have Slavs, Poland, Ukraine, Belarus, Russia. You have Czechs, Slovaks, but then you also have the Balkans, like Slovenes, Serbians, Croatians, Bosnians, and even though Slavs are all the same people, Slavs are just so very different apart. They're so very different apart in religion. Like, the Serbs are Orthodox Christians, the Croatians, for example, are Catholics. The same with Poles. Poles are Catholics, while the Ukrainians and Belarusians are Orthodox. They have different languages. They have some similarities in the languages, but they have ultimately different languages, and they're just so different apart. And so it would not work either. If Eastern Europe made one giant Slavic country, do you know what would basically happen? The country would basically collapse into civil war. That's basically what would happen. Is I think that they would just break away into civil war, and they would be different factions, different countries fighting each other. That's ultimately what would happen. So no, it's not going to happen. People think that's because you have one ethnic group in multiple countries that they're all gonna form one giant country. It would never work. Zombfected asked me a question. What's the question? Pat, can you please read my comment about what I've been trying to ask you for half an hour now? People are getting pissed at me for asking it. Well, what's your question?
You're bikers, right? Because the
What? I'm sorry I didn't see your comment, Zomb. I was just, focused on my conversations, I guess, and I just didn't, Can you just post the comment again, Zomb, and I'll just look for it now. No, I know what your name is, Jafar. I remember it now. Good question for you. Well, thank you, Arch. It's about, can you name every #1 spoken English country in the world where English is mainly spoken, like the US, Canada, etc.? Countries where English is the #1 spoken language. America, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Britain. Think about that one there. South Africa too, I would say. South Africa has a few languages, but English is the most common language. I'd have to think more about this here. Belize, I guess. Yeah, Ireland, I guess, yeah, Ireland you could put on that list too. Ireland has their own language. Yeah. New Zealand, I mentioned New Zealand, yep. Jamaica, right? I think, well, India, I think it's like 30% or 40% of Indians speak English. It's not the majority language, I think. Do you think that World War III will happen anytime soon? That's one of my biggest concerns with the Russian drones in Europe. No. I would not worry about that, Carboy. Don't worry about that. And the reason I wouldn't worry about that is because when the Russians are doing the drones, the Russians are basically just trying to test NATO. That's ultimately what they're doing. They're trying to see how quickly NATO responds. It's more of a provocation. It's basically saying, oh, hey, we can do this. That's basically what it is. This is not going to blow up into like a further war. And the reason it's not going to blow up into a further war is because the leadership of both NATO and Russia know very well that the moment that a war starts, everybody's dead. Everybody is. So nobody's going to, risk that. Nobody will risk that. They'll know that it's going to be pretty much over. So I would not worry about something like that. No, don't worry about it. When you talk about America, I'm talking about the United States. It's, what we call it America. Americans, yeah, we just call it that for short. I know that other countries, they say United States, but we call it America most of the time in the U.S. itself. Do you think Rafael Caldera's biggest mistake is pardoning Chavez, who undermined the democratic institutions that Caldera fought to establish? He promised to pardon Chavez to get voted. Yeah, it was a mistake. Chavez destroyed Venezuela. Chavez is the worst thing that happened to Venezuela. And the thing about Venezuela is a perfect example of a country that has everything needed to be a rich country, but all it basically takes is one idiot to ruin the entire country. That's basically what Venezuela is a perfect example of. And here's the thing is, Venezuela has everything it needs. All the blueprints it needs to be a very rich country. It has ports. It's at the very top of South America, which has a lot of trading. So it has ports, which would make it a ton of money. It has the largest amounts of natural oil reserves in the world. People don't know that. Venezuela has more oil than the entire Middle East combined. Every single Middle Eastern country combined, Venezuela has more oil than them. So it is the country with the most amount of oil in the world. And so it has all the blueprints it needs, oil resources, ports. Also, it has, warm climate, which that's also a plus, because when you have cold climate, you have ports freeze. It's because it's warm climate, they can grow stuff year round. So it is, it has everything it needs, really, to be a successfully rich country. But you had basically an idiot who came into the government and wanted to nationalize everything, basically turn Venezuela into a socialist country, and then you see exactly what happened. It was a disaster. Venezuela is a complete disaster. It is a complete failure. Honestly, it's a joke what the government has done. It's just so bad. You have a country that could have been really rich, and you had an idiot that messed up the whole country. And ever since that idiot took power, you have this one socialist dictator after another, and the country's never gonna, get fixed at this point. The same thing can be said about Argentina as well. There's a lot of potential, but historically it has terrible leaders. Well, they have a much better leader now. Their president is actually, fixing stuff in Argentina right now, and shrinking the government and, making it smaller ended up working, because Argentina's inflation rate, dropped down so much. So Argentina is somewhat on the right path, is getting away from socialism. But then you have, like, Venezuela and, Bolivia, Nicaragua, Cuba. You have countries like this, and I don't know why these governments, they don't want to learn that socialism just doesn't work. They just want to keep still pushing it over and over again, even though it's a disaster. Venezuela is under immense sanctions. It can't sell oil freely. Venezuela can still trade with so many other countries. It's just sanctions from America. It can trade with all of South America. It can trade with its ally Cuba, which it likes so much. and the sanctions are a mistake, because the sanctions are just the sanctions are just used as propaganda for Venezuela. That's all it is. The Venezuelans will then blame the U.S., saying the government will say, "Oh, it's the Americans' fault that we're so poor." When it's not the Americans' fault. It's the Venezuelan government's fault primarily. Mercenaries 2 is a great game. Do I believe in an afterlife? I don't want to get into religion. I tend to stay away from that. My view on that is generally I like to believe. I'm more of an agnostic. I generally like to believe, but at the same time, I don't fully know. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not an expert. So that's basically what I'll say about it. Is I just don't know. Thank you, Will, for sponsoring my channel. Thank you, dude. Loopy? Wait, what? Tar? Thank you for the super chat. Venezuela now is Massimo Torini. Yeah, he does look like Massimo from Liberty City Stories. And when I play Liberty City Stories, I'm actually gonna do memes about that, about Massimo and Maduro. Is it true the Allies bombed civilian towns in World War II? I thought their objective was to bomb an industrial building. I don't know much about their objectives. Did the Allies bomb civilian areas on purpose? Yes, they did. But I would not compare it to the Axis. I would say it's different. The reason is because here's the thing: is when if you want to, like, the Soviets, for example, the Soviets were very very careless, like, with targeting civilians. Like, they didn't care. Did the United States intentionally bomb civilian areas during World War II? Yes, but it was a bit different. How it was a bit different is that the United States a lot of times would warn people when bombing raids were coming in. So, like, the United States would, like, drop flyers on, like, cities in, like, Dresden, Germany, which Dresden, Germany was bombed heavily by the United States during World War II. And the United States would drop, like, flyers saying that the city is going to be bombed heavily. Like, get out of the city, flee while you can. And what happens is when the German government found flyers like that, they would say, oh, it's propaganda, it's lies, it's not going to happen, and they would demand that people stay and not flee. And then, they would demand that people stay, and then what would happen is the city would just get basically bombed. And the reason that America targeted cities like Dresden, the reason we did that, it was to break the enemy's morale. That was basically the whole purpose of it. Was it a cruel tactic? Perhaps. But at the same time, is when you look at what the Axis were doing, like that's what people will do. Is there's this historical revisionism that's, like, it's really dangerous, and, like, what it does is it tries to downplay what the Nazis have done. What people will do is people will point to, like, a city like Dresden, and they'll say, like, for example, they'll say, oh, look at what the Americans did to Dresden. Look at that. The Americans destroyed Dresden, and, they bombed Dresden. But at the same time, they'll be downplaying the atrocities that the Germans have done. Look at Warsaw. What did the Germans do to Warsaw? Warsaw was 95% destroyed. German, soldiers went with flamethrowers door to door, burning people alive in their homes. So you can't really compare something like the American bombing of Dresden if you compare it to, like, the destruction of Warsaw, which was, much worse. So that's what this historical revisionism, it gets really toxic, where people will say, oh, what about Dresden? They'll constantly bring that up, but then they'll disregard all of the, the horrible things that the Axis have done when they intentionally targeted cities. And, like, when the Japanese targeted, cities and towns in China, what the Japanese did? They dropped chemical weapons on Chinese cities. They did. So, like, the Japanese were, like, the only faction in World War II that dropped chemical weapons by plane. Like, nobody else did that. The Japanese did that. And so, like, literally, it's not the same, like, comparing, like, Allied bombings of Axis cities to Axis bombings of Allied cities. It is very different. It is not the same thing. Like I said, did the Americans intentionally bomb civilian cities? Yes, but it was more to break the enemy's morale, and a lot of times is we gave them warnings. We dropped flyers. That's what happened over, like, over and especially over cities like Tokyo. Like that, what people don't know is that the firebombing of Tokyo, when the United States firebombed Tokyo, we killed more civilians during the firebombing of Tokyo than we did during the atomic bombings. People don't know that. People don't think about that. So we killed a lot of civilians in the firebombing of Tokyo, but it was we were dropping flyers. We were telling them people, we were telling those flyers, and you don't have to take my word for it, guys. Go on Google and look this up. Look up American bomber flyers over Japan. And there was like American planes would drop these flyers, like thousands of these flyers. And the flyers would basically say, our war is not with the Japanese people, our war is with the Japanese government and the emperor. And it would say, tell people like, leave Tokyo, leave Hiroshima, leave Nagasaki. These cities are going to be bombed. Leave these cities. But the Japanese government would lie to people, and they would say it's American propaganda. You're safe. The cities are not going to be bombed, and they would make people stay, and they wouldn't let the people leave. And then, what happened? Stuff like that. So that's ultimately what I'll say about it. Is that it is not comparable. There's a really good history professor that I follow. I'm trying to remember what his name is. Let me see what his name is here. Victor Davis Hansen. About him. Now about Victor David Hansen, I know he also has like his political stuff, but I don't really follow that stuff that he does. I just literally listen to him for his history lectures, and he covers World War II history extensively, and he basically talks about how like this revisionism is like dangerous, and he basically explains like stuff like that, like the difference between like when the Allies bombed Axis cities and the Axis bombed Allied cities. It wasn't the same thing. It wasn't to the same extent, and stuff like that. So that's what I'll say about it. Is that whenever I hear people like say that oh, the Americans bombed Dresden, the Americans killed German civilians in Dresden, I will say to them, what did the Germans do in Warsaw? What did the Germans do in Stalingrad? There was intentional targeting of civilians, and so it is not comparable. It is not to the same extent. And a lot of times the Americans, like, I can't speak for the Soviets because the Soviets were brutal in what they did. But I can speak for my own country, America. Like the United States, we warned countries several times. We dropped flyers, we warned people that American planes were going to come over this area and to like flee. Did the Germans warn people when they were going to bomb cities? No, they didn't. They didn't care. So that and the Japanese certainly didn't care either. So that's what I'll say about that. You gotta look at who started the war. Who started it? It was it was ultimately the Axis. They were the people who started this conflict.
You doing this?
Oh, I didn't know that one, Gunner. I gotta look up that game. I will come back to GTA 4 and I'll do a playthrough of GTA 4 when GTA 4 if GTA 4 gets a remaster. If it gets a remaster, yes, I'll do a playthrough of it. What's the best documentary about World War II that you watch? I don't know any documentaries recently. It's been some time since I watched a documentary. When it comes to historians, there are historians on YouTube, like Victor David Hansen. He's good. You look him up. He talks a lot of history on World War II. He's really good in World War II. And then there's also this other woman that I watch like for history sometimes. I forget her name. I've seen a bunch of her videos, but I don't even remember the professor's name. Let me see if I can try to find out what that history professor's name is. But yeah, but there's a lot of really good history professors that are on YouTube, and they do their lectures for free. You don't have to go to a college to like learn this stuff. And they some of these guys, there is nothing better than a Sarah Payne. She's another historian. She's also really good. Sarah Payne. Mark Felton is great too. Mark Felton is great. I've seen his videos. So these historians like Victor David Hansen and Sarah Payne, Mark Felton. These are all really good historians, all of them, and they just they explain history really well. And the thing is, here's what I will tell you: the best history professor that you can have is a history professor that generally enjoys talking about what he talks about, and just he just likes explaining it to you, like what it was like back then, like what it actually was like he doesn't just the best type of history professor that you can have isn't the professor that just says, oh, this happened on this date. It's a professor that basically talks about what it was like on that day, what it was like to be a common person that day, like what it was like to experience that time period and stuff like that. Those are the best type of history professors that you can have, because professors that specifically explain what it was like to live in that time period and what it was like. Not like professors that say, oh, this event happened on this date and that's it. That's basically how you know when you have a good professor. I see your comments there. I don't think YouTube shadow banned you. I see your comments. I actually don't know about that regime, Jafar. Well, I'm not worried about that blinded eagle. So that, I hope that answers your question, Mr. Jesus. That's basically that. Thank you, Golden, for dealing with it. And thank you, Fernando and Zomb also. Okay, are we done selling stuff? Is it over? Have you watched the Ghost Recon Wildlands movie, Gunner? The Ghost Recon Wildlands movie is canon, by the way, to the game, so it is canon. Oh, can somebody help, yeah, there is a Ghost Recon Wildlands movie. The Ghost Recon Wildlands movie is about Ricky Sandoval. It's about, it's about what happens to him before. Yes, there is a movie. Look it up, Ghost Recon Wildlands movie, but there's a movie that what happens, like, a couple months before the story. And El Muro is in that movie, and it's canon. And there's a scene in the Ghost Recon Wildlands movie where El Muro drowns a guy in the holy water in a church. So you know in a church where there's like the fountain and then there's like the holy water, El Muro takes a guy, smashes his face into like the fountain of holy water and drowns him in a church. That is what El Muro did in Ghost Recon Wildlands. So he is one of the most evil cartel guys in Wildlands. Do I want to have kids? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I still have plenty of years of my life to think about that. Can somebody help Arch out here? I don't know about that term, FTV, but I can tell you Saudi Arabia is a very, Saudi Arabia is a dictatorship, pretty much. It is a very extremely authoritarian country. It is Saudi Arabia is a strange country, and the reason that it's such a strange country is because it's such a rich country, but yet it's such a brutal country at the same time, too. Usually countries that are, fairly wealthy and have really high standards of living aren't so authoritarian. But Saudi Arabia is that exception, where it's a very authoritarian country. It's a very brutal, dictatorship, but it's a very rich country. People have very high standards of living. People live pretty well in Saudi Arabia. Did female samurai exist in feudal Japan? Yes and no. There was... About female samurai is... Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think a samurai can be a woman. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think samurai only applies to males. So I correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think that female samurai were called something else. Like there was a specific term for them. Were there female warriors? Yes. They weren't very common. They were usually from specific bloodlines, but yes, they were. There was a specific class for them called that. If you look up like female warrior class in Japan, something will come up for that. It did exist, but it wasn't. They weren't called samurai. They were called something else. I just forget what the term was. Okay. Let me help Unknown. I'm gonna help Unknown here first because he's been asking me for some time to help him with this Prison Break heist, and I really hate Prison Break, but I'll help him out on this one here. And also, Unknown, I know this is like your first time doing this heist, but just please do me a favor. Once we complete this heist, never do this heist again, because Prison Break is like the worst heist in the game. It is such a frustrating heist to do. Crash, are you still here, dude? Did you ever tell me your PSN, by the way? I really appreciate the $200 super chat. Thank you, man. If you're gonna make me something, make me, hang on, let me invite from... We'll just invite people here. Make me Demolition, please. Demolition, Unknown Notion. I'll take care of it. If you make me Demolition, I'll take care of Demolition. Roll pretty good. Do you guys agree with me that Prison Break is the worst heist in the game? Who agrees with me on that? Like, do you guys agree with me on that? Or it's do you think there's another heist that's worse than Prison Break? But I think Prison Break is the worst one. Pilot isn't that bad, really. All you basically gotta do is fly around in circles and dodge the missile and pick people up. That's all you gotta do, really. I'd say the most hardest role is inside the prison guard and the prisoner. Humane Labs is worse because of the delivery EMP, yes, but look, when I say the worst heist, I'm not talking about the setup missions. I'm just talking about the finale. So, like, can you guys agree with me that when it comes to finales, like, Humane Labs, the finale is pretty easy. It's not that bad. But, like, Prison Break is the worst finale here. And the reason that Prison Break is so terrible is because Prison Break, when this heist was first designed, it had a good idea behind it, that, like, everybody does something different. You have somebody that's a pilot, somebody that's demolition, somebody that's, guard and prisoner, that everybody's playing a different role. Like, on paper, it seems cool, but in practice, it was terrible on how it worked, and it was just a disaster. And I remember, like, there's a meme when it comes to this heist, and the meme is Development has been destroyed. That's what the meme is. You guys ever see that meme, Development has been destroyed? That is because it happens so many times where people crash the plane. It is just such a frustrating heist to deal with. Yeah, I can help you with your heist, Tar.
Used to be head of research for the army. 3 doctorates.
Do I think Russia will take over Ukraine? Thank you, Kia, for the super chat. Here's the thing the Russo-Ukraine war is only going to end when one side basically achieves, total victory. That is basically it. And the way that Ukraine would achieve total victory is if there was basically like a coup in Russia. That's the only way that they would achieve total victory. And the Russians are basically not going to stop until they control as much of Ukraine as they want. So, Lily, that war is not going to end until, one side, fully defeats the other side. That's basically it. No matter how many peace negotiations there are, I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I think this might go on even for more years. I think that, yeah. So that's basically what I think about it.
GovFact breakout, if you know what I mean. Rad. All right, first thing's a plane. Then we got a bus.
Can you skip this cutscene, Unknown Notion, by the way?
Transfer schedule and Rashkovsky's car. More on that later. Let me show you. We need a plane to get the professor out of the country. It's currently being used to traffic drugs by a transnational street gang, the Vagos. The bus.
Well, a Ronin is basically a warrior that's not a samurai. That's what a Ronin is.
On the route from Paleto Bay. All right, that's where you're going to be able to get a hold of one. You can get a hard copy of the inmate transit schedule at the LSPD's Mission Row station. Go in unarmed, play it cool. You might not have a problem. That's a two-person job.
Staying strong, professional. You're a great person on YouTube. Thank you, dude.
Guys' prize cash
I'm hopping
flow.
off. I have a bad headache. My heist or some other time, maybe. Take care, pro and chat. Okay. Fidelity mode fixes man trap glitch. Okay. Raccoon, just message me later this week, and I can help you with your heist. Okay. I hope you feel better. Everybody wish Raccoon to feel better here. He has a headache, so take a break. Oh, you haven't done the setups. I thought this was the finale. Okay. Well, I don't have time to do the whole heist right now at the moment. I can help you with some of the setups here. Let me be the pilot on this. I'll fly the plane. Arch, can you switch over to the ground team? I'll fly the plane. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, this mission can be done solo, and the bus mission can be done solo too. So I don't know why the game forces you to do all this stuff. Pearson, let me get in with you. Oh, okay. Let's take my,
So, you're moving on the plane. It's at Mackenzie Airfield. Logistics are as yet undecided. Go in how you like, but go in with a good supply of ammunition, armor, and maybe even explosives. It's gonna get kinda heavy. Like I said before, the airfield is under Vagos control. They're using the plane to make trafficking runs across the border. That means it's already set up to take Reshkovsky out of the country. Limited radar visibility.
I know that Saudi Arabia is changing. It's changing for the better. But it
Actually do.
and the thing is, if Saudi Arabia, you know, gets away from like the crazy authoritarianism, it can even be an even richer country than what it is. It's already a super rich country. But if it gets away from some of the authoritarianism and it puts in some more reforms, yeah, it could even be a much more richer country than what it is today. That's one of the reasons that a lot of people don't go on vacation to Saudi Arabia, is because they're scared.
Okay. Globalized, multinational, decentralized criminal network. Their principal interest is in drug trafficking, but they've diversified into mid-level distribution, end-user sales, and trafficking other contraband. You get caught with a kilo of coke, and they throw the book at you. Get caught with a quart of capybara semen, it's a slap on the wrist. And the market for large endangered rodent ejaculate is lucrative. Most of the Vagos upper management is shot dealers, if you like, are already incarcerated here in the States and throughout Central and Latin America. They run the network on cell phones, and it's a relatively flat hierarchy.
Yeah, but yeah, do you agree with what I'm saying there, FTV?
There's 6 more waiting to bite. Not that I want to dismantle any criminal networks. As you know, I'm a criminal myself. I just like to do my homework. Criminal homework. The prison angle's gonna help us sell our raid on Bolingbroke. It's not something that they would do, but it's the kind of thing the authorities believe that they would do, which is all that really matters. You get me? Okay.
Do I think Gary Smith should go to youth jail? What, you mean like juvie? Well, that kid is insane. Okay, I'll see you, Golden. Take care, man. You still here, FTV, or, I'll see you, Golden.
Maintaining the integrity of the plane is the priority here. Don't rush this. Looks like a shit show down there. Clear the airstrip before you think about taking that bird into the sky. If the plane gets shot up, we're back to Alpha. Vago's cell phones are going loco, people. Expect more of them any second now. But remember, the mission is the plane.
You guys can get out of there if you want. I'm going to deliver the plane.
Air traffic's telling me you're airborne. Bring it
I could try to, Brandon. Who else needs help with their heist? Who else needed it?
Pilot,
Okay.
come in. Is there any cargo on the plane? Drugs, guns, wild animals? I guess if you're
My birthday is next month. Well, happy early birthday, Ashley.
Crash of rhinos. You know, last week 3 customs officers died from spider bites after opening a Marabunta Grande shipment of untaxed Coca-Cola wood. What lesson can you take from this? It ain't the size of the dog in the fight, it's the amount and toxicity of the venom in the dog's sack. Yeah, unless the dog is really effing big, then you're screwed anyway. So, look out for creepy crawlies, and any drugs on that plane belong to me. Man, I love selling drugs. I am a criminal, after all. The gang task force better send us a thank you for this. Even more Vagos coming at you. My team's waiting at LSIA. Can we hurry this up, please? We need to clean this up quick, so leave the area as soon as you've handed over the plane.
I will do another setup mission here, and then after that, I'll do one more setup, and then after the second setup, I will go and help either Pierston or Arch with his heist.
A quick flight's a good flight. Everyone knows that.
Would I ever work in the tunnel rats in Vietnam? No, no, hell no. You could never pay me enough money to do that. You could give me $1 billion, like literally $1 billion, and give me a handgun and tell me to go into the Viet Cong tunnels. I will not do that. No, I don't care if you're giving me $1 trillion, the world's money. I'm not doing it. Okay, Arch, I might not have enough time to talk tonight, but I could message you, because I'm going to be eating dinner after this stream, and gotta take care of a few things. Tomorrow, Mondays, I'm generally free, Well, look, FTV, I'm not questioning Saudi Arabia's wealth. Saudi Arabia is a very rich country, and people have some of the highest standards of living in Saudi Arabia. I think the average Saudi even makes more money than the average American. People make a lot of money in Saudi Arabia. But I'm just saying is that some of the government can be very authoritarian, and just you have some of the some of the crazy laws. I know it's not as bad. I know like that prince. I know he's pushing in reforms. He's trying to fix the country, make the country better. Like, I know women got, I think women now have the right to drive, but it was just, it's just that in the West, people just have a generally negative view of some of these laws in Saudi Arabia, so Saudi Arabia needs to still change some of these laws. I don't think that Saudi Arabia is like North Korea. It's not like that. You know, I wouldn't be scared to be in a country like Saudi Arabia, but it does have some pretty authoritarian laws still. That's what I'll say about it. I know it's changing for the better, so I do want to say that its reforms is changing, but yes, I think they are building the new world's tallest tower. Yes, that is true. It's a very impressive economy. They're one of the richest countries in the world. What do you think of Ireland and its history? Ireland has a really sad history for, for nearly, for close to 1,000 years. They've been constantly fighting for their freedom. Ireland is finally a free country today, but it is Ireland has so many famines from their country, and a lot of the famines were caused by the English or the British, and Ireland has a very, very sad history. It does. Well, I have an Irish name, Patrick, but I'm not Irish, but a lot of people think I am Irish. I don't know about that, Bakken. I never really thought about that. I will help you with one more setup mission unknown. I'll help you with one more setup mission, and then I'm gonna help the next person with their heist. Oh, Amazon, where I got it. You're going off? Unknown? Okay. Pierston, Pierston and Arch, let me help, Pierston, I'll help Arch first, because Arch is probably gonna go off soon, unless you're going off first. I'll help Arch, and then I'm gonna help you, Pierston. So, Arch, invite me to your heist, and I'll help you. And Serial, you got a heist too? And then Tar needs help with her heist also, yeah. I gotta help a few people with their heists. I'm still gonna play for some decent time. We're gonna help a lot of people with their heist. I would probably, if I had to live in the Fallout world, I'd like to live in New Vegas. What was the India-Pakistan conflict of 1971? That was the East Pakistan, which became Bangladesh, wanted to become its own independent country. And Pakistan really didn't like it, and Pakistan invaded East Pakistan, which became Bangladesh, and East Pakistan was committing genocide in what is today Bangladesh. They were, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and then India intervened and sent their military in their jets, and they defeated Pakistan, and then Bangladesh became an independent country. That's basically the backstory behind the 1971 India-Pakistan war. Can you speak a bit of Polish? Tak, jak się masz? Ja umiem gadać po polsku. Yes, I know how to speak Polish. No, I'm never, would never, you know, want to go into one of those tunnels during the Vietnam War. No, never. Do you think there will ever be a GTA game based off Carcer City? No. I can't picture them ever going back to Carcer City, so no, I don't think so. But yeah, FTV, if you're here, I definitely would want to visit Saudi Arabia's one day and see that high-tech city that they're building, because they're building a new high-tech city. But it's still I'm just a little scared of the psycho laws. That's just what I'm a little scared of. What U.S. city would you recommend foreigners to visit? I'm thinking between New York City and Los Angeles. Well, Minion Dave, what I will tell you about visiting America is that a lot of times when people visit America, they only visit the East Coast or the West Coast. If there is a few cities I could tell you I would recommend to you, I'd recommend to you Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I did encounter some BS there, but generally I enjoyed Las Vegas as a trip. I had fun there and I enjoyed the city. So Las Vegas is one city I would recommend. Another city I would recommend Rapid City in South Dakota. I've been to Rapid City a few times, and Rapid City is a great city. And Rapid City has Mount Rushmore. Well, it's not in Mount Rushmore isn't in Rapid City, but it's really close to Rapid City. But that's I would recommend that place. It is a place that a lot of tourists go, but a lot of people go. But yeah, it's when you visit America, you want to visit more of Inner America also. Don't just visit the coasts. Don't just do that.
Stay calm. Are you calm? Good, because I'm calm. What's not to be calm about? If you screw up and they see you, we're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way, one dead guy at a time. Okay, do you want the good news or the bad news? Well, the good news.
Oh, okay, FTV.
Record-breaking weekends. The vault is full to bursting, and the bad news is that they've hired extra security to guard it. High risk, high gain. Just how we like it. Hey, did you try out your stun gun yet? This is going to be your best friend. It'll overload the circuits on any CCTV camera or metal detector it hit. That's it. Head through the door to the staff lobby.
Las Vegas is boring. Well, it depends on where you go in Las Vegas and what you do. It can be a fun place to visit. That is true. A lot of Americans are descended from people who fled Ireland during the famine.
Metal detectors up ahead. You'll need to find the fuse box on the side of the unit, take it out with a stun gun, and get through before it recovers. That's it. Shorted. Quickly, get through. Heads up. CCTV ahead. The stun gun should disable the camera for a while. Or go old school and time your run. We should get away with that one, but take out one more camera and they'll know something's up. Quick and clean. Very nice. You can't shoot down many cameras. It's the kind of thing security tends to notice. Heads up, CCTV ahead. The stun gun should disable the camera for a while. Or go old school and time your run. Hey,
Get the daily cash vault. I'm gonna go downstairs and clear it out.
It's up to you, but might be worth a detour. It's a two-room system. One of you needs to hold the access button in the security room. The other runs through and grabs the
Oh
cash.
crap! What the?
The cash is on the cart.
Hope that didn't
Don't
alert
get
it.
distracted. This is just a starter.
Okay, we're still good.
Right, the camera just went down. It'll be back online soon. And remember, if you bring down too many at the same time, they'll hit the alarm. Only one way down from here, one step at a time. I need my inhaler just listening to you. Remember, these people aren't idiots. Easy as that. Okay, here we are at last, the lower level. Naturally, it's heavily guarded.
Okay, good job. I wish you could mute Lester. They need to really add that as an option.
The key card's earning its keep, huh? You're so close. See that security checkpoint? The man trap is just beyond it. See that? That's your man trap, so pay attention. You'll have to swipe both vault key cards simultaneously at separate control panels. That unlocks the system, but even... Get everyone inside the man trap now. I can keep the first door open until you're set.
Oh, guys, everyone change your thing to fidelity mode. Everyone change it. Because apparently that fixes the man trap glitch. So, like, you don't get the man trap glitch if you're in fidelity mode. Everyone, please change your thing to fidelity mode, Arch and,
Okay, so far so bueno. Push on
Arch and
to the
Minifig,
vault.
change it to fidelity.
Looks like the guard at the vault room isn't there. Happy days. I know this is a special moment for you down there, but trust me, it's about to get a lot more special on the other side of that door. Break out the laser
I thought
journal
Pro's doing the prison break heist. He went to sleep, the guy who was running the prison break heist.
The lock mechanism should melt like butter. You just need to target the weak points. Don't rush. If you push the drill too hard, it'll overheat. We're not on a time limit until we're inside.
Did I see the movie Class of 1984? No, I didn't. Oh, there was a super chat. I'm sorry. Folks think that Michael cheated only one time, but he did multiple times. Michael admitted in a live chat in Psychic Shootout when he said, and I cheated too, unless you can't tell, like, a lot. Wait, when does Michael say this? Sweet Pumpkin, thank you for the super chat.
Cash on the carts. Grab it. Good news. Seeing as we stayed under the radar, we have a little more time here. Now, your hacker can block the security sensors while you're in the vault, but only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll flood the place with nerve agent? No? Okay, well, I'm mentioning it now.
Okay, if each of us gets 3 carts, I think we should be able to get all the money. But we each need to get 3 carts. What happened on Roblox? What happened? When did America start thanking Vietnam vets after the war? America, I wouldn't say that America really ever thanked Vietnam veterans. Like, Vietnam veterans were treated like crap. Yeah, they were treated like absolute crap. They still are. Government just used them and then just didn't even help any of them when they needed it. Hey LCPD, how you doing? Okay. Minifig, when you're done there, start drilling boxes. Yeah, same with World War I veterans. Yep. No drill. Okay. Okay, we're good. We got all the money though. That's good.
40 seconds. Seconds before the failsafe alarm, so make the most of it.
There we go. We're good. Remember, everyone on fidelity mode, please, so we can avoid the glitch.
In and out undetected.
Swipe.
Who would have thought it? People, that is the
What are your plans for this week? Continue Mafia 3, Ghost of Yotei, and also, what is it? Work on my Henry lore video for Mafia 2. Does turning on fidelity actually fix the man trap glitch? I don't know. That's what people are telling me. People are telling me if you turn on fidelity mode, you won't get the man trap glitch. So I'm trying it right now. We're seeing. So far, nothing's glitching out. So.
Well, that took its sweet time.
You know, if we pull this off, it'll be the crown jewel of my career. The hardest achievement on the console of life.
We can jump now. We're not in the man trap anymore.
Little payday and a whole lot of smug satisfaction.
Oh crap. Damn. Okay. Okay, we're still good though. Am I gonna play Fallout again? Hey Yaritza, Fallout, I still gotta do the DLCs. I'm gonna see if I can do them this year still.
They did a spot check on the vault, so they know it's been robbed. The good news is they have no idea who or how. The cops are on their way, but you can still make it out undetected if you do exactly what I say. If you're caught now, the shit really hits the fan. The side doors are back through the staff entrance. You're almost there. Must be tiring running around with all that loot.
Hold that open for him, saves a little time too.
I've missed this.
Are you getting all the achievements for Diamond Casino? I don't know if I have all of them. I gotta check that once. See if I have all of it. Yeah, I could do the Fallout 3 DLCs in December, because the Season 2 is coming out of the Fallout show. I could do that as well. I'm really curious whether that Fallout 3 remaster is true. It's called Psychic Shoutout. It's a website in GTA 5. It's true that Michael cheated many times. Both are wrong and nasty in their infidelities. I haven't heard of that website before, Sweet Pumpkin. I have to look into that one. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Remember, they know the vault's been hit, but they don't know who you are or where you are. They have patrols sweeping the whole place and all this.
No man trap glitch.
So if they see you, they'll know it's you. So just stay out of their way, keep your cool, and get to the buyer. You should avoid the bulk of the cops this way. The only thing that matters is making it to your ride. The driver has the getaway car in position. I've pinged you the GPS. Get to the buyer, don't bring the cops, and we're home free.
My favorite Walking Dead character? I don't know if I really had one. Tar or Pierston, can you guys get your heist ready and I will help you next? I'll help you right after this.
Just got word from the decoy. We don't have long before they have to tap out. Make the most of it. Alright, the decoy is out. You're on your own now.
Would you agree with me that Negan is a piece of crap and evil, unlike what a lot of Walking Dead viewers like to claim? No, I wouldn't call Negan evil. He's definitely a piece of crap. You could definitely argue he's a piece of crap, but I wouldn't say that he's evil. And the reason I wouldn't say that he's evil is because Negan has limits. That's the only thing that keeps him from being evil, is that he has limits. Evil people don't have limits. They don't have limits. There's things that evil people will cross any line. They will basically, you know, do anything. But there's things that there's lines that Negan won't cross. There's lines that Negan won't, things that Negan won't do. The best example of evil is the governor in The Walking Dead. He's the perfect example of evil. He also runs his own group. But you know, Negan is a bad guy, but the governor is evil. So that's the difference between the two of them. Like they're like.
High points. Lester Crest is back, baby. Looks like the house doesn't always win after all.
So that's what I'll say about it. I mean, do you agree with me kind of on that, Sumato, if I'm reading your name correctly? Oh, crap. Viewers would, well, hang on. What do you love about Halloween in GTA Online? Thank you, Drew, for the super chat. I mean, I guess kind of like those killer events where one person plays as the killer and they all just run away from him. Thank you, Dysum Auto Carol. Governor's evil is often due to his mental state. Well, here's the thing about this. Almost all evil people in history, they have some kind of, you know, messed up mental state. That's why they're, you know, evil in the first place. But the difference is, there's a difference between evil and insane. When somebody is insane, they don't fully understand what they're doing. But while evil people, generally, they have like a different, you know, mental state than a lot of other people, they fully know what they're doing. So an evil person knows they're evil. Like, an evil person knows they're generally doing bad things, where an insane person doesn't. So while the governor does have, you know, mental issues, definitely, he fully understands what he's doing is wrong. Like, he fully understands he's evil. There's even a part in the in The Walking Dead, I remember, because I did watch the earlier seasons and I remember them, where Herschel and Michonne get kidnapped by the governor, and this is when he's going to attack the prison. And Herschel says, you know, if you have a family of your own, you know, how could you do that to somebody else's family? And the governor says, because they're not mine. That's it. So that is evil right there, is he very much understands that it's, you know, what he's doing is evil. He just doesn't care. So, you know, Negan is a bad person, but he has limits. There's, you know, lines he will not cross. Where the governor, there's no line that he will not, he will cross everything, basically. Well, the thing, what I'll say, FTV, is that the term fascist is probably today like the most, you know, overused. It is probably the most overused word. Like, so many people call each other fascist, and they don't fully understand, like, you know, what it means. Constantly. And the thing is, the people that are constantly getting called fascist aren't even fascist themselves. That's basically what I'll say about it. Is that it's just a really overused word, and it kind of the thing. Oh, Burp Bear, are you sure you want to do this with 4 people? Because with 4 people, you're going to get a much, you know, smaller cut. It's up to you if you want to do it with 4 people, but I think 2 or 3 is enough. But it's up to you. If you want to do it with an extra, it's fine. It's your heist. But look, you know, as somebody who had family that suffered under a fascist regime, there is when people call each other fascists so easily, that pisses me off. Because people don't fully understand how evil the fascists were, and they don't understand, you know, the horrible things that they did. You know, the fascists destroyed Poland. You know, they did absolutely horrible, horrific things in Poland. Like, you know, German flamethrower soldiers, like I said, they went door to door in the Warsaw Uprising, burned Polish people alive in their homes. If the Polish resistance killed a German soldier, then what would happen is the Germans would put up signs saying 100 Poles for 1 German, and they would basically just... can you skip this cutscene? They would kill 100 random Polish people they would capture on the street and just execute them for 1 German killed. So that's what I'll say about that, is that the, you know, people throwing around the term fascist so easily today, they don't fully understand the meaning of it, and they don't fully understand the horrible things they did. So, like, you know, somebody says, "Oh, you don't agree with me, you're fascist." Well, you know, when you call somebody a fascist, you're basically saying that they are, you know, that they are supporting like a genocidal regime that, like, you know, invaded how many countries and killed, you know, millions of people. So that's what I would say about it, is that it is like literally the most overused word today these days.
Casino who would clear any one of us out, leave us poor and destitute. Today, their luck is gonna run out. Because there is one.
Can you skip the cutscene, please?
I just love screwing more than a casino. It is a private equity a-hole. Come on, yeah. Now we have planned, we have prepped, and we are ready to go.
Your friend is here!
Yeah.
I think you can skip this cutscene. Can you please skip this cutscene? I got called a fascist for buying a steak? What? That's, okay.
Going to be joining us?
Regrettably, Miss Chang was called back to the mainland. I will be representing the holding company's interests.
Yes, that is,
And I will also say this. The people that are constantly falsely calling each other fascist these days, if you look at what do these people support, like their own ideology, you know what they oftentimes support? They oftentimes support communism. I've noticed that heavily, that the people that are, you know, constantly calling everybody they don't like a fascist, they constantly support communism, or they defend like communist regimes like Cuba, Venezuela, and this other stuff. And so, are you really in a position to call somebody else a fascist if you are yourself supporting like such, you know, such brutal, you know, disgusting regimes? That's what I always just thought was so ironic about that, is that you have these crazy people that are just calling everybody fascist that don't agree with them, and at the same time is they're supporting like communist regimes which just do such horrible things to their people. So that's it. As somebody who's Polish, like I said, it offends me extremely when people just use that term fascist and just throw it around, because they don't understand the horrible things the fascists did, and it kind of you know, downplays the word when you think about it, because just, you know, calling anybody a fascist, it basically makes it seem like it's a common word, when in reality the people that were fascists did such horrible things, and they, you know, did such horrible atrocities. That's why I can't stand Twitter users. Yeah, it is frustrating. I agree, but ideology starts early, left or right. What do you mean? Dysem Auto Carl, thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Isaiah. Oh, it's cash? Okay. Yeah, and I will say, my family suffered through both communist and fascist regimes, and all it is just, you know, picking your poison. That's all it is. It's like you're just both two disgusting evil regimes, and I don't understand how people can support either regime. I don't know how people can support fascism or support communism. It is they're both destructive regimes, and here's the other thing I will tell you about that. Communism and fascism, both of those ideologies. Both of those ideologies are actually fairly modern ideologies. They were both created within the last century. Well, communism kind of was created in the 19th century, but the first communist country was the Soviet Union. So, communist and fascist governments are less than 100 years old, both of them. And what I will say about it is that even though those two are fairly new modern ideologies, if both communism and fascism have one thing that's in common, one massive thing in common, and it's not just that they're dictatorships. It's the fact that communism and fascism, if you combine both of those ideologies have killed more people than any other ideology that has existed in history. So if you just look at fascism and communism and you just compare both of them, both of those ideologies have murdered more people than any other ideology in history. So there's like centuries of history, like thousands of years of human history, and these two ideologies that just came up within the last 100 years have killed more people than any other ideology that has existed in history. So that's what's just so crazy about these ideologies. They're so evil, is that they have just killed so many people and destroyed so many countries.
We're ready to roll.
We better pull this off. Georgina made a big personal risk making this happen.
Jess, can you please skip these cutscenes? Skip them with X, so we just don't have to watch these cutscenes. My people died from letting Stalin starve. Are you Ukrainian? Because a lot of Ukrainians died under starvation from Stalin. My people suffered under both the regimes, the fascist and the communist regime. My father's family had suffered extremely under the communists, where I'm gonna mute Lester here because I can't talk when he's just constantly talking. I'm gonna mute him here. Okay, so what I was saying is my dad is a Tatar, which Tatars are like, they are an ethnic group they're originally from Central Asia, but a lot of them live in Eastern Europe, so they're a Central Asian people that live in Eastern Europe, and the Tatars had suffered extremely under Stalin, like really, really badly. Like, a lot of people don't know about just the horrible things that Stalin had done to Tatars. But basically, the Tatars, for example, they lived primarily in Crimea. Crimea is where they lived, and they actually had their own kingdom there, the Crimean Khanate, that was for like 300 years until the Russian Empire annexed it. In 1944, Stalin ordered every single Tatar to be deported from Crimea and sent to basically gulags and work camps in the eastern part of Russia, and the people were displaced from their homes. And they had lived there for centuries, hundreds of years before the Russians had lived there. And they just took their peninsula, they took Crimea from them, and they displaced all of these people. And most of the Tatars did not survive in Siberia. They didn't survive the Siberian, the march to the gulags in Siberia. You had between 100 to 200,000 Tatars died in that. And that's why Tatars absolutely hate Stalin so much and despise him so much. And then also on my mother's side is Polish Slav. And the Polish had suffered tremendously under, both Hitler and Stalin. So there was like, as someone with both, Polish and, Tatar ancestry, I always find it so weird how, like, probably the most asked historical question that I get, like the number one history question that people ask me about World War II, is people ask me, professional, who was worse? Was it Stalin or was it Hitler? And, like, as a Polish person, asking a Polish person that, like, who was worse, Stalin or Hitler, it's literally like, picking your poison. It's like, what flavor of poison do you want? That's essentially what it is. It is, I don't think that people should be arguing about who's worse, Hitler or Stalin. Both of them, both Hitler and Stalin had invaded so many countries. Both Hitler and Stalin had, imprisoned so many people put both people in camps, murdered millions of people. You know, both of them had done horrible things, had a secret police that terrorized their, you know, their people and other people they occupied. So I don't know why people are, you know, arguing, you know, who is worse, Hitler or Stalin. You know, I think that we should just say both of these people were extremely evil. Both Hitler and Stalin were horrible, evil people, and we should both be happy that both of them are gone. They're both gone. You know, Hitler and Stalin are gone. They can't hurt us anymore. And not only are both Hitler and Stalin gone, both their empires are gone. The Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore, and Nazi Germany doesn't exist anymore. So I think that instead of, you know, arguing over who is worse, we should both be happy that both of them are gone and they can't hurt us anymore. That's what we should, you know, be happy about. Oh, they're, because it's their first time doing the heist, they can't skip it? Okay.
Hit the cash. Get as much as you can. Good news. Seeing as we stayed under the radar, we have a little more time here. Now, your hacker can block the security sensors while you're in the vault, but only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll
there we go. Nice. Oh, we only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds for this. Okay. Crap. Okay, we're gonna have to hurry up on this.
Try getting into some of the lock boxes.
Well, yeah, I understand your frustration, FTV. I understand it. Some people in your comment section say Antifa is an ideology and not an organization, and look, I had some people that got pissed off at me over that that post that I made the other day, but I don't regret making the post at all, because here's what I will tell you about this. I don't care about somebody's political views for the most part. Like, I played so many video games where the lead actor is either, you know, a right-winger or a left-winger. I don't care. So I don't care mostly about people's political views. But when it gets to the point of extremism, that's the point where I start to care a bit. And the lead actress over, the lead actress for Ghost of Yote, the English actress, she basically supported communism. And, you know, she even made a tweet where she supported the communist group. And for me, as, you know, somebody who, like, had parents that grew up under communism, that suffered under communism, like my great-grandpa was arrested and sent to a gulag by Stalin, as somebody who, like, you know, has family that goes through that, I find that extremely offensive, and I cannot support an actor like that. And so that's why I changed it from, you know, the English dub to the Japanese dub. And if she made a tweet, if she made a new tweet, you know, and she basically said, you know, it was 5 years ago when I made that tweet, and I'm sorry, I was young and stupid, I made a mistake, you know, people change. If she came out and said, I made a mistake, you know, 5 years ago, I was younger and I was stupid, and I changed, I don't have these views anymore, and I'm sorry to anybody I've offended. And that would be it. It would all be good, and it would be fine, and I would even change it back to English dub. But she knows about the backlash that she's gotten, and she has not changed her position, she has not apologized, and so that's basically what I'll say about it, is, that's why I was a bit, you know, pissed about that. Okay, let's go here.
Perfect. Now get out before they smell a rat.
Oh, I have to run now. Run.
Gas incoming. 10 seconds.
I should be able to make it. Yeah.
Time's up. Here comes the nerve agent. Get the hell out of there before you get a long fall.
Can you talk more about your culture? Well, my culture. Look, My culture is not Polish or Tatar in any way. Even though I'm, you know, I am, you know, I'm 50% Slavic and I'm 50% Tatar. My culture is not, you know, Polish or Tatar anywhere. My culture is all American. You know, I'm an American. That's it. I have nothing. There's nothing Polish cultural about me. I maybe eat Polish food from time to time. That's the closest cultural, you know, culturally being Polish I am to it. But there's nothing culturally Polish about me. I'm more of an American. That's, you know, more what I identify culturally with as being an American.
Through the checkpoint. Nothing to see here. Back the way we came is too risky now that you're carrying the loot. Let's fall back to the rear door.
Y'all done in here? Hey, listen. That fella on the vault door? How'd he look?
What exactly are Tatars? It's spelled Tatars. They are an ethnic group that is from Central Asia. They came into Eastern Europe with the Mongolian conquest. They were part of the Mongolian army hundreds of years ago. When the Mongolian army when Mongolia had collapsed, a lot of their soldiers ended up staying in Eastern Europe.
Time to change your outfits. We need a fresh start if you're gonna make it out of here under the radar.
Oh great, we can't go this way. Okay.
Closing in on us. We need to pick up the pace. Security is sweeping the whole building. Stay one step ahead, or this whole thing goes south.
If anybody has crap, hang on. If anybody has ever played the game Kingdom Come Deliverance is an open world game. If you know the Cumans and the Tatars are very closely related. They're very closely considered the same people, basically, and so that's basically who my father is from that ethnic group.
As long as you stay calm, those outfits should get you from here to the exit. The cops aren't letting anybody through the perimeter, so you'll have to do that the old-fashioned way. Good job, officers. It's about time you showed up. As long as you're in the casino, that outfit's a free pass. Slip out the side door and try not to act out of character.
No, it's okay, Mr. Roblox, it's fine. Charles Bronson is a Tatar. Yes, he was. He's a Lipka Tatar. That is true. You are spot on that. That is true. You know, the thing about Charles Bronson is my dad actually looks really close to what Charles Bronson looks like. He looks very similar to Charles Bronson. That's the funny thing about that. What are your thoughts on the on movies that are anti-communism? The amount of pro-communist propaganda that's out there, I'm fine with some anti-communist movies. Oh crap, I didn't even see that the cars were over there. Ah crap, I was running in a different direction. What I was gonna say also is, me and my dad were actually watching a Charles Bronson movie a couple months ago. I forget what the name of the movie was because we were just watching it on TV. I don't remember what the name of the movie is. Somebody might be able to tell me. The movie, it was a 1970s movie, and it was, Charles Bronson was like a watermelon farmer, like he had watermelons. He drove like a pickup truck, and like there was this gang that was like harassing him and his farm. It wasn't Death Wish, it was another movie. It wasn't Death Wish, it was, the guy who played as Sollozzo, the same actor who played as Sollozzo, he plays as like the main gangster that's harassing him, that actor. From Godfather, you know, the guy who played as Sollozzo, he played in that movie. I forget what I think the movie took place in Colorado. It was like a mountainous state, like where it happened. I forget, it wasn't Death Wish. Does anybody know the movie I'm talking about? Mr. Majestic, that's it. It was Mr. Majestic. I remember now. Yes, you're right. It was Mr. Majestic. That was the name of the movie. Yeah, I watched that movie with my dad. We watched it. Yeah, but Charles Bronson makes some really good movies, and also Charles Bronson is like the best. He is like the best vigilante like actor. Like anybody who plays like a vigilante, like a good guy killing criminals, like he is the best actor for that. Like nobody, you know, comes close to him. Maybe I guess the closest actor today that I can think of that plays like the best vigilante movies is probably Jason Statham. Jason Statham usually plays like a good character that like kills criminals. But yeah, I generally like those vigilante movies where like you have a guy that's just going after these gangsters and stuff. I know the cars are in the horse tracks, but I made a mistake. I wasn't paying attention where the cars were. I went to where they normally are, and I'm just gonna take the helicopter. Screw this. I normally don't take it, but everybody got so ahead of me. I just lost the cops too. Nice. Was that Tar? Liam Neeson. Yeah, he does. The Taken movies are pretty good too. Yeah, Equalizer is really good too. Yeah, Equalizer, I did like those movies. Yeah, I'll make more GTA lore videos. I will. Yeah. Do I even have a parachute? I do. Okay. What is the Nepalese Civil War? I actually don't know much about that. My parents' favorite movie is, both my parents, their favorite movie is a Polish movie. It is called Battle of Warsaw 1920, if anybody knows that movie. It was a movie made, like, I think, like 10 years ago. It was a Polish movie, but that is their favorite movie, was that one. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention, Minifig. That was my bad. I was running the cars usually don't spawn on the racetrack. They usually spawn in the alleyway behind the taxi business, and so I got so distracted I started running in the other direction. It was my bad.
All right, you're good. Get to the buyer.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Did I just... Okay. I had 1 star at Cops, but it was... I'm making grilled cheese for dinner. No, I'm good, DHC. Cats or dogs? I can't have either. I'm allergic to both. Charles Bronson was a World War II vet turned actor. I know. He was a bomber, part of a bomber crew. I think he fought in the Pacific. Yeah, creepiest cutscene in the game is coming up. When will the U.S. stop mistreating Vietnam veterans? Well, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. If anything, Vietnam veterans are even more hated today than they were. It was just you have like these spoiled college kids today that basically think that Vietnam veterans are like evil, baby killers, and like they think that they're like some kind of imperialists. So you'll have like these privileged rich college kids that will basically be yelling at Vietnam veterans saying, "Oh, you imperialist, blah blah blah." This I honestly can't listen to their propaganda. Oh yeah, I know. Governor is way worse in the comics FTV. I know that. Well, about Beekeeper is the best part about Beekeeper was literally when he destroys the call center, the scam call center. He literally goes into a scam call center and just destroys it. That was literally the best part of the movie. There's been error joining a session. What? Oh no. Oh no, no. No, no, no. Tar, please tell me that you got paid for that heist. Please tell me you got credit for that. Oh no. Tar, did you get paid for that heist? Yep. And this is you know the people that say that GTA Online has no glitches. This is you know, show this to the people who say GTA Online has no glitches. Show this to them. Yeah, I know that, Menacing. You told me. Jess said she got the cut. Okay, cool. So everybody got paid for it then. Okay. No problem, Jess. Glad I can help. Happy early birthday also, Tar. I'll probably stop by the multiplayer. I'll play Battlefield 6 multiplayer definitely more than I'll play, you know, Black Ops 7 multiplayer. Okay, I'll see you, Zom. Take care, dude. Was I allowed to celebrate Halloween as a kid? Of course. Yeah, my parents didn't. You know, my parents weren't one of those people that thought it was some evil holiday or something like that. No, it was... Yeah, I'll give it a try, FTV. Well, that's the first time I'm hearing about that one, April. Oh, what? Oh, it's Air... Okay, Air Approach. I haven't seen this one in some time.
Paring, esperen ahí. Why can't you assholes be on time for once, eh? Arms out, let's go. Okay, right over there. They will bring it soon. Go on.
This time I thought we would be caught for sure. You really must look like a smuggler. Your equipment's in the hangar.
Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing cocaine here. I'm gonna grab this really quick. Has there ever been a game based on the birth of the SAS? Not really. No, there are SAS characters that appear in World War II games, but I don't think there's been really ever a game that's focused on the SAS.
I will also access compound CCTV to see you when you are there. By the way, you will always have room in your bag for main objective. I have crafted special compartment for us. I love this job. Let's make some money. Some advice. When dealing with paranoid drug lords, expect CCTV everywhere.
Also, Pierston, if we gotta shut off the cameras. Come with me, we're shutting off the cameras. It's gonna make it a lot easier getting to the compound.
Be careful. If you find a uniform for a disguise, it will not be foolproof. Give a guard a good look at it, he will see right through it. And stay away from El Rubio's personal guards. They will know you are not one of their own.
What just happened? What, no? What? You got... How? How? What the hell? What was that? I don't understand how you got spotted. Come on. Oh, this is why people hate Cayo Perico now. BS like this happening. don't even know how we got spotted. That's just stupid. That's just that really is just stupid. That's really stupid. Yeah, can we do it later this week, Brendan, if that's okay? We didn't even get seen. I know, we didn't get spotted, but yet the game... Pearson, go and get the cocaine. I'm gonna go and take care of the, I'm gonna go and take care of this,
Remember, cameras everywhere. Almost like Mr. Rubio feels a little paranoid sometimes. The power station is here. This is where you can bring down the lights and CCTV network. GPS trace acquired. I have your location. Once you are inside the compound, I will be able to see you on CCTV.
I played Cult Tick? No, I haven't.
So, how did our little water trick go down? Do the guards look distracted? I must warn you, if you do find this guys, do not push it too far.
Okay, this will be easier now.
You will know something is wrong, and the Rubio's personal guards will know their soldiers well. You will not fool them, I think. And we are dark.
Also, I'm really happy, Pearson, that you did this on the plane approach, because so many people always do the water approach, which makes it boring. At least we're doing something different.
You remember when we first came here, Capitan? Not such good party energy now, huh? Okay. Alright, next step. Find the truck and drive straight through the main gate.
Okay, Pearson, let's find that truck really quick. The truck is at the main docks. Okay. Which year did the Wild West disappear? I would say, like, kind of after World War I. Oh, why'd you quit playing GTA FTV? It's like in between the buildings, right? That's where the truck is. No, you have it, Pearson? Okay. Yeah. This is the approach most players don't know about this. Okay. I won't forget Jafar. Hire played the first Ghost Recon games, what, the ones on, like, PlayStation 1? No, not really. I mean, I have one of them on PS1, I know, but I barely remember it, if anything, yeah. How much do you think people are going to need for the Mansion DLC? I think if you have $10 million, you'll be good. So I think just have 10 million, you'll be fine. Rockstar's done every gangster but the Prohibition Godfather era. They kind of did with the Valentine's Day Massacre, but that was like 1920s themed stuff for GT Online. That was based on Al Capone's St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
But once you're inside that compound, anything could happen. Okay, the lights and the CCTV are back on.
Control, un camión en la puerta principal. Atentos. Hold up. Let's take a look at you. Okay. ¿Se ve bien? Lo voy a dejar pasar. You're clear. Go on. Go on.
Are revenue agents bad people? For the most part, they were, yes. Revenue agents were very corrupt. They abused their power. What the hell? What? No. This is why people hate Cayo Perico. That's BS. Pierston, screw it. Let's just do it. Oh, no. Wait, what are you asking me, Minion Dave? I don't know. This heist, Rockstar has ruined this heist so much. Like, this heist is so ruined so badly. I don't know what Rockstar was thinking with this heist. This is why people do Casino Heist now. Remember, when Cayo Perico came out, Casino Heist was dead. Nobody did Casino Heist anymore when Cayo Perico was out. But then when Rockstar nerfed Cayo Perico to the living hell, that now this heist is dead and everybody's doing Casino Heist. What are your thoughts on the French Revolution? I think the French Revolution was a good thing for the most part. I think the monarchists were the ones who caused it. The monarchy in France treated people like absolute garbage, like crap. They treated the Third Estate really terribly, and the Third Estate rebelled against. Ah, god damn. I should have just shot him in the face. I shouldn't have, you know, rushed up there. It's my bad. I'm not a doctor, Minion Dave. If you're, I don't know anything about that. Why did you quit playing GTA FTV? Hey Ryder, Cayo was straight up. You used to be, until Rockstar ruined it. Where do you think you would be right now if you had not started a YouTube channel? Probably working in some form of law enforcement.
It's good to be back. You know where to go by now, and do not forget, the bodyguards
What the? I just... It just jumped me like crazy over there. Okay.
Be careful in this area. Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards, they know their soldiers, and they will know you are not one of them, no matter what uniform you are wearing.
Pierston, I'm gonna go and find that other key card. One of these guys has it. No.
No sé, pero anda por aquí. Pregúntenle.
This you will not regret taking with you.
Damn, where's that other key card? Damn, the Juggernaut is right next to me, too. I think that guy over there has the key card. Oh, great. You got it, Pierston? Okay.
¡Cúbranse con algo! ¡No tengo más! ¡Despídase! ¡Hay un herido! ¡Hueputa! ¡Retirada!
If you find a locked door, someone will have the key.
Pierston, come over here, quick.
We killed them already. Timing is everything. All together now.
Is there gold? No, it's cash. God damn.
¡Atrás! ¡Hueputa! ¡Hijo de puta! ¡No se me acerque, gonorrea! ¡Hasta aquí llegó, imbécil! ¡Me tiene mamado!
What the? It's like glitching out in the floor. This heist is so buggy because of.
¡Imbécil! ¡Morirá, hueputa! ¡Mamá! ¡Fuera de piso! ¡Idiota, no! ¡Se le acabaron las vidas, hueputa! ¿Quiere que le den lo suyo? ¡Siga así! ¡Jódase!
We're gonna go downstairs, and hopefully downstairs there's gold. Yeah, this heist is broken now, it is.
¡Necesito que me cubran! ¡Carrimba! ¡Diga adiós a este mundo, malparido!
Thank you for going over the man-trap glitch. No problem, dude. The camera's seen the bodies probably... Yeah, that might be it. Pierston, before you open that, come over here. Pierston, please open this with me here so we can get this stuff in the meantime while one person's getting that. Swipe. Oh no. Pierston, watch out. God damn. Okay. I'm getting this. Does the mask get uncomfortable? No, this mask actually is pretty easy to breathe through. It doesn't get uncomfortable. You know what the worst mask I wore was? The worst mask I wore was the Payday Wolf mask. The Wolf mask, that one was the worst one.
We cannot go out using the same truck. We're going to need another exit route.
Are you gonna play GTA 6 FTV? And have you watched, like, you said you stopped playing GTA, but did you watch, like, my playthroughs and, like, my other videos? Damn. I'm getting frustrated now. I'm trying to...
Just because you are fleeing the crime scene of the century does not mean there is no time for opportunistic theft, yes? You like it, you take it.
Pierston, come over here quickly. Oh no.
¿Quiere chupar lirio, hijo de puta?
yourself. We have logged its location. You will have to come back with a crew. Did I ever tell you about
You got rapid fire glitch, Kirsten? Oh, great. What am I supposed to do now? Should I let them kill me, or just... What am I doing now, Kirsten? Should I get the money and leave? Damn, die. Oh my god, this is why I hate GTA Online sometimes, the enemies in this game. Like, they literally just fall down, they get back up, they fall down, get back up. GTA 4 was so superior in combat. It was so much better. Okay, screw this. I'm gonna... Kirsten, I'm getting your bag, and I'm literally gonna get the cash downstairs and make a run for it. If that's okay with you. Kirsten, are you okay with that, or do you want me to kill myself and restart? I was waiting to see what Kirsten says because it's his heist.
No tengo más munición.
Kirsten? Okay, he's not replying. I guess I'm just gonna escape here then. Okay, gonna escape, try to get out of this place on my own now.
¡Se le acabaron las vidas, hijueputa! ¡Chúpame la verga! ¡Muérase! ¡Atrás! ¡Tenemos un caído! ¡Me dieron! ¡Al suelo! ¡Tumbaron a uno! ¡De mierda! ¡Mamá verga!
Damn, I hate when they can see you through the bushes, and... Man, this is so frustrating. Oh my god. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. And they... Oh my god, god damn. Oh, honestly, screw this heist. What Rockstar did to this heist, like, they have just taken a really good heist and they've just ruined it so badly. Like, god damn what Rockstar has done to this heist. They've just ruined this heist so badly. Like, words cannot even describe it. What? That's disgusting, D-Money. My god.
It's good good to be back. You know where to go by now, and do not forget, the bodyguards will not be fooled by your disguise.
Damn. Okay, no key card.
You're in the area where Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards operate. These men will know every soldier under their command. No disguise will fool them.
Well, I got the key. Is that at least? And where's the key card?
¿Ha visto a Manuel? Está tan llevado que no puede sostener el arma.
Found it.
If you fall, I did not bring hose to wash you off the rocks. It would be rude not to check the safe, I think. You have good taste in things to steal.
I hope you feel better, April. Do I live in New York? No, not anymore. Okay, Phoenix, I'll take a look at it. Was there a Jewish mafia? Yeah, and there was an Irish mafia, Italian mafia, German mafia. Every group had pretty much had their own mafia. Come over here. Pierston, I want you to get the painting in there, okay? Thank you for being a member of my channel for 2 years and a quarter, that boy Marcus. Thanks, dude. Was there a Polish mafia? Yes. Your bag's full? Okay.
Now, how are your nerves? Steady? You will need them to be if you want to get into that bulletproof display case. Steady nerves and a plasma cutter. The problem with plasma cutters, you are not careful, they overheat. I learned this the hard way. Cutting into undersea pipeline, at least you are above the waterline, yes? Boy, you will have trouble sneaking out with this necklace. It is visible from space, I think.
Oh, no. Pierston, screw this. I'm taking this painting and I'm getting the... Oh, no, they're gonna come up behind me. Pierston, shoot that guy before he comes in here. Oh, no, Pierston got rapid-fired glitched. Oh, great, that's how he died instantly. Oh, God. Stupid rapid-fire garbage. My God, this Rocks... They've ruined a good heist. Rockstar, what have you done to this heist? You guys saw how he died instantly? That was the rapid-fire glitch. Like, look at these guys. These guys come in like zombies, like this... I'm taking this and I'm getting the hell out. God. Oh my God. God damn. That... That's sin. Like, that, like, what have they done to this heist? Like, this heist is just beyond, like, good now. Like, this is just such a BS heist now. Oh my god, yeah. I'm sorry, everyone. The rapid fire glitch, the enemies can just spot you so quickly, the bodies are just visible all the time. Like, this heist is just ridiculous. No, I used to do Cayo Perico a lot back in the day, but it's like, this isn't even my fault. And I'm a GTA veteran. Like, I play this game a lot. And so, like, if I'm struggling with this game, like, anybody that's new on this is gonna, like, you know, have an impossible time, you know, getting through this. Because this is just... This heist is just so beyond saving. It is just so bad at this point. Maybe I could make a video ranting about this heist, because it's pissing me off. Pierston, go up there and hack that door. I'm gonna find this other key card. There we go.
Está tan llevado que no puede sostener el arma.
Sí, pues el rubio dice que Manuel es el propio, o algo así.
But that looks expensive.
Yeah, it's still streaming, trying to get out of this heist here.
There will be many locked doors in Mr. Rubio's house. Worth looking for keys, I think.
Well, thank you for thinking I'm the best streamer, thank you. Oh no. Great. Okay, I'll see you, Brandon. Quick, Pierston. Pierston, can you open this door for me too in the meantime so I can get this painting? No, we entered through the front door, but it's fine. Grade is boring anyways.
I'll have someone's head on my desk if you don't find them. I have a suggestion.
Pierston, I'm just getting the cash right here and we're leaving. We're not gonna look around for this gold. This is just enemies are rapid fire glitching us. We are just getting the hell out of here.
It's too risky. You'll have to find another route. Perfect.
And Juggernaut probably saw a body out. The problem is that the key card, you have to find the other key card, you have to kill another enemy. And the fact that they can see the bodies now, and it's getting ridiculous. Yeah.
Just because you are fleeing the crime scene of the century does not not mean there is no time for opportunistic theft, yes? You like it, you take it.
¡Hijo de puta! ¡Come mierda! ¡Protéjanse!
Pearson, quick, follow me.
¡Muérase, gonorrea!
¡Le dieron!
¡Cúbrase! ¡Está herido! ¡Morirá, hueputa! You better leave right now.
My God.
Despídase.
Oh no, Pearson, did you get blown up by the car?
Well, that car looked expensive. I admire your commitment to ruining this man's day.
¡Hijo de puta!
Crap,
Ya no tengo nada. ¡Muérase, pedazo de mierda!
You didn't get blown up by the car, okay, at least I didn't kill you then.
¡No le queda mucho, hijo de puta!
Who the hell is this guy?
¡Agáchense! ¡Joda! ¡Se nos fue!
¡Cúbranme!
¡Voy a recargar!
Okay, oh man, this is... Pearson, are you able to skip this cutscene? I saw it coming a mile away. Yeah, Miku, this heist is getting really annoying. What's the longest time you ever done a live stream? Like 8 or 9 hours, I think? I can't remember a lot, but I did stream like that much once.
Good job. The compound is behind you. All that stands between you and immortality is the possibility of your imminent death. Now get out of there. Your GPS should have the location of your extraction.
No! I got rapid fire glitched. Oh my god, I hate this heist at this point. This is just, oh my god. That's what the rapid fire glitch is. For people that don't know what the rapid fire glitch is, the rapid fire glitch is when the enemies can basically just fire an entire magazine at you in 1 second. Like they'll empty their entire gun at you in 1 second, which they can't do. You can't do that in the game, but the NPCs can. Oh man, it is just Okay, at least Pearson is here with me, but now we have 884,000. Okay. Okay. Screw it, we're just escaping. Oh no, Pearson's dead now. He got rapid fire glitched again. You gotta be kidding me. He got rapid fire glitched again. Oh no, it's just... Does Rockstar not want people to play this DLC anymore? Is that because that's the impression that I'm getting at this point?
This time is the straw that breaks the camel's hump, I think. They have their attack boats mobilized along the coast.
My god, I'm still getting shot.
Looks like Mr. Rubio is heading back.
I like how the cutscene only shows me appearing here, so like, oh man, yeah, Pearson, don't worry about it. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just Rockstar is stupid. What they just ruined that heist so much. Like there was like a good heist, and then they basically just ruined it. Oh, man. Of course, I'm going to play GTA 6, and yes, I enjoy watching your videos and playthroughs. I'm saying that I quit playing GTA 5 online. Oh, okay. Make a rant about this. I might, yeah. This is just getting ridiculous. Okay. Rant video, Pat. I should. Oh, man. Oh man. Okay, guys. I think I'm probably gonna wrap the stream here. It's almost 4 hours. I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. You got rapid fired so many times. I know, Pearson, and you know it wasn't Pearson's fault, also, guys, because he is the stupid rapid fire glitch keeps happening. But I'll stick around and I'll answer a few questions if people have any. If you guys are new to my channel and enjoy my